end up on a fucking watch list.
Do you think that we're not already on a watch list when we were like reciting what we needed for bombs in the first fucking series that we did?
I don't remember.
Hello, everybody.
We're on watch list.
Back to Tales from the Forgotten Troop, Lord Jukebox Justice. If you're enjoying what we're doing and would like to support the show, we have a Beacons page with all of our affiliate links. You can buy stuff or give us some direct coffee donations or buy some merch. You can also find all of our social media links to follow those accounts or join our Discord where a lot of extra fun happens. If you're watching the video on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. But you can join us live weekly on Sundays. And pretty soon, some more days of the week. So yeah, that's all I have. So go around and characters.
You could join our Not a Cult. We have merch that says we're not a cult. It is our Discord server. Right? Exactly. Maria.
Stickers.
Repping.
We have so many stickers.
Yep, buy our merch on Redbubble.
I wish we had a Godzilla sticker.
We can make a Godzilla sticker. We can do whatever we want.
Can we make a Godzilla sticker? I think that might be copyrighted.
Well,
There's
no.
Plenty of
actually,
copyright stuff on Redbubble.
What I would do is I would make Sarah in the Godzilla mech suit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's what I would draw.
But also there is plenty of copyrighted stuff on Redbubble.
Yes.
There absolutely 100% is.
I'm not entirely sure how to interpret this question, but the question our random icebreaker generator has provided today. If you were a takeaway food, what would sum up your day and why?
What?
What?
Yeah, I know. I don't really understand that.
Like takeout food?
Yes.
What takeout food would you be, I think?
So I guess, like, in what case, like, why would someone order you?
Why would somebody order me? Because I'm delicious.
Exactly.
And because they didn't want to eat in the restaurant, obviously. They wanted to eat out, not in.
What stoner put that into the generator?
Who knows? I'll go first because I actually have an answer for Sylvie.
Yeah.
I am Tess. I play Sylvie, aka Valkyrie. And Sylvie is the takeaway food that sounds really great when you're high or drunk or on some kind of drugs.
Oh, so it's what is it? Burrito Drive?
Menace joint. That's what
There's the one that I used to go out when I went to the gay club all the time. We'd go dancing, and then at 2 a.m. they would still be open.
Yeah.
Like,
Really, or like
with the weird burritos
and shit.
Yeah.
Not just like high drugs, but
like tater tot burritos.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And you're feeling kind of adventurous. That's definitely Sylvie's takeaway.
Nice. Love it.
It also might contain more drugs. That's a chance you're taking.
Absolutely. That's how they make more money for the takeout.
There was a pizza place near me called Old School Pizza that had, I forget what exactly they called it, but it was basically like a low-key way of naming it, like stoner pizza. And it was, what was it?
420 pizza.
Pepperoni, sausage, French fries, pickles, chicken wings.
Chicken wings on your pizza. That's brilliant. I love it.
Red
had spaghetti
peppers
pizza before.
And
there
was like one other vegetable. I forget what it was now. But I remember looking at it like, who on earth would eat this? And then I went in there one day during college and there was just like this pod of stoners just devouring one of them. And I was like, oh.
That makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of stoners where we live. So like if you like ever order from Glass Nickel, the guy who owns the place used to deliver like the pizza. Like Glass Nickel's local, so you don't really know what it's like. He's a stoner and like he used to deliver to my place because he like was at the east side one and I lived on the east side, and he was just like, here's your pizza. I'm like, you're totally fucking baked right now, bro. And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, you whatever. I don't drive. Whatever. I don't. Whatever. Walk away with my pizza.
Nope.
I can go next. Hi, Hi everyone, I'm Jenna, and I play Roxy DeMarco, aka Calamity, and she would be a calzone, obviously, because she's warm and mushy on the inside, but also Italian.
Fair.
Calzone's Italian? Might have been American. That's an American Italian thing. It even fits better, but
Yeah, exactly. American Italian. Yeah. She's Italian American, American Italian. It's fine. Exactly, and she's also cheesy, so there's that.
Oh no, calzones were invented in Italy, Naples, in the early 1700s.
wow. Is that old?
Okay.
Here we go.
Look at us learning stuff. Every week we learn something new.
Yeah,
I know
Yeah,
about
the
the
more
50s
you
and what
know.
wasn't.
calzones were sold on the streets and intended to be eaten on the go. And pizza.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes sense because
Empanadas.
it's basically
like a pasty.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
it's-
it's a pasty.
It's. I mean,
Pasty, whichever one.
Like every
And pie.
does every culture on the planet just have like their version of like stick ingredients in dough and go?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Dumplings, empanadas.
It's handy.
What a
And
lovely
delicious.
concept.
Pierogies.
Oh,
Burritos.
pierogies.
Burritos.
God, I miss pierogies. Ugh.
I mean, burritos isn't like a pastry, but it's like, you know.
You can still on the go food.
I guess empanadas are closer though. From
Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
There's some genius people in Spain that just hang out outside the bars like in the early morning because their bars are open until like ungodly hours, like 4 a.m. And they just sell empanadas and beer on the street. So you can just keep partying. And I was like, all right.
That's
go
what you call being
Spain.
an entrepreneur.
And that's why they have siestas in Spain. Because they're hungover all the time. Fun facts.
I've got one for Cynthia. I'm Brianna. I play Cynthia, otherwise known as Echo, and she would be that place where you order from them pretty frequently. The food's good, and then one time you tried to go there in person, and they're like, "Oh, this is definitely a front for something. I'm not going in there."
It's the mafia. It's the mafia. Oh no, the Faye owned the Mexican. Wait, Chinese restaurant. Which one? No,
We have a
it's
Mexican
Mexican
restaurant.
restaurant.
the
Oh,
Mexican
Mexican
restaurant, and actually, no, it's not the Faye. It's an alien. You know,
It's fine.
who knows?
It's
Potential
fine.
alien. She's an immigrant. She's got her passport. Yeah.
That's
It's true.
I mean, you can still be an alien. You know, it has nothing to do with, you know.
But she's an American citizen.
She is.
She is technically an American citizen. Yes.
I don't think.
I
Correct
don't
me if
know.
I'm wrong, but I don't think being human is a requirement for being an American
No.
citizen.
No.
Currently not.
Gestures to the government and says no, it doesn't.
Lizard people.
Robots and lizard people.
I think I got mine here after a bit of pondering.
All right,
Uh,
all right.
Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Crow, alternatively just Crow, and I'll be playing Joe Hatathli, aka Watchdog. And I think, yeah, I think Joe would be takeout that you get from like a Texas Roadhouse sort of place where it's like it's
Yeah.
higher scale food, but it's still like comfort food in reality. It's just like a bit better made, and like the buns are gonna be freaking delicious because they're just like completely drowned in butter.
What?
Is that purposeful or not purposeful?
Yes,
I
that
can't
was
even
purposeful.
tell. I can't
I was
even
about to
tell.
be like, you just walked into something.
No, that
No,
one was
no, he
intentional.
didn't.
I stepped on that
Alright.
landmine on purpose.
Good one.
Very
Like
nice.
it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Maria. I play Elena, aka Easy Living. I don't think you can get carry out for Elena. That's just
The butler would
just
riot.
a high tier restaurant, and if you ask for a box, they just scoff at you. Like there is no takeout, there is no to-go orders. You eat it there, or you don't eat it all.
So what you're saying is that she smuggled out takeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam,
You-
I'm mentioning you just go in, you get your plate, and then you take the whole plate and leave.
You just steal it. You slip it into your purse.
That's like when I went
You
to
just you float the takeout out.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
It's a
go.
flying saucer.
Just a tray of it just
Yeah.
goes out the window in the car.
All right.
All right,
That's
Matilda.
everyone. Start of the session, add a team to the pool.
28 team.
Yeah, 28.
We're gonna be needing it soon, I expect.
Yep.
We're gonna forget about it when we need it. You guys
Yeah.
remember, right?
I have
That's
had
why we
a
have
counter
28.
in front of me on my desk this whole game with the amount of team we've got.
I don't use half of the stuff I have. I'm like telling Charlie all these things for when I change my playbook, and then like
Anyway.
I'm like, I'm not gonna pay attention. I've never used this thing that I have written on my sheet, so I
I-
actually don't care whether
I already made the joke about using my burn in place of team, and I don't want to die, so I'm not gonna make that joke again.
Previously on Jukebox Justice, Roxy called her mom and found out that she also had no idea Tony was a werewolf. They had a conversation about it, and then Roxy went to
Mom.
bed before confronting her brother. The next morning, Joe went to check on Tony and found him puking into a trash can. Seems like the pixie magic really messed with his system.
Yeah.
They talked a little bit about why Tony was so stubborn about telling Roxy he was a werewolf, and Tony admitted that it was pretty hard to come clean on a secret he'd been keeping for 10 years. And that he initially kept it a secret because his whole family would want to jump in and help, and none of them originally had superpowers or any sort of methods of combating magical werewolves. Tony also gave himself about 48 hours before the guillotine would come down on his head, and Joe went to brainstorm some ideas with Cynthia about what to do, because there was a lot. Henry mentioned going to recruit Senior Supersonic and headed out of the base to take care of that. When Roxy woke up, she went to talk to Tony to try and get some answers, but things didn't really end on a satisfactory note.
Not really.
Instead, the team gathered in the main room of the base to figure out what the hell they could do about this situation. So, basically, what I am going to give you tonight is this is your planning session.
Oh.
Ready or not, next week, shit's going down.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
I gotta feel some rolls. I need my next move.
Make the most of your time, basically.
Joe fails all of his
Oh.
planning rolls. Everything goes horribly.
But he got his next advancement.
I'm just holding my advancement or like my changeover for now. Is that cool, Charlie? Or do you want me to like?
I mean, that's fine. We can make it dramatic.
Yeah, that's
don't-
it. Obviously, I need a dramatic moment.
I don't imagine there will be any conflict this session, so
Okay,
Right.
cool.
But picking up, there were several things people wanted to do at the end of last session. So first we can start with Roxy trying to get a hold of Eugene over the comms. You were basically just calling for Lunar Ultima. over
Dad
and over again.
Ultima, Daddy Ultima, Luna, Dad Luna, Papa,
Dad.
Lunar Dad, Lunar.
Poppy, Luna, Ultima. Wait, Joe, what's your dad's code name? I don't know.
Lunar Ultima.
Luna Ultima.
A couple of moments pass before you get a very staticky reply where he says, Calamity, this is Lunar Ultima here. It's very, very crackly.
Are you planning to? Well, you're safe. That's good. Watchdog, you pass safe. All right. We made sure that you know that. Anyways, are you going to be returning to the base soon? Do you need help, assistance? Like, what's the status?
We're safe. I've got some friends. If it's okay for me to bring them to the base, we can head over immediately. But considering
Might as well. Just give me a second, though. I do want to check with Cynthia. I want to be, like, considerate of everything, but I'm pretty sure that she's planning out a new secret base.
Space is apparently public property now, so
it's a superhero hangout now, and she's like, I just need to be alone.
Her own base with blackjack and hookers.
He responds, copy that, Calamity. We're on the edges of Halcyon and can stand by here until we know where to go.
All right. You can come here. It's fine. Just like let me know. I mean, she wasn't like super excited, but like I think that was an affirmative when she said, might as well, it's public property now. So,
Roger that. We'll be there in 10-15 minutes.
All right, see you then, Luna Dada.
Over and out. Cool. And then Alina, well, is there any other information Roxy would like to relay after that conversation?
I'm just gonna tell him his dad's gonna be here in like 10 minutes. I'll tell everybody that where daddy's gonna be here in like 10 minutes. Where dad, Papa, I don't know.
Please stop calling him that.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I have no rebuttal.
Is it because he's not like formal? Because Herr Daddy makes more sense, like Mr. Daddy. Herr Vati, if you will.
Oh, Mr. Daddy. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Daddy?
So you want to run some experiments on me, right? Can you go do that?
Yep.
All right. Well, so it sounds like Mr. Daddy's the best, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Herr Vati.
There you go, Mr. Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
experiments.
Thank you.
Cynthia and Joe can leave.
Cynthia's like, science now, guys. Let's stop calling Joe's dad daddy. That's weird. Stop it.
All right. Elena was going to call Spuds.
Yes. She just takes out her thing and, well, Roxy's calling Lunar Ultima. Herr Kartoffel, the Spuds Mackenzie. Guten Morgen. We are all awake and alive.
He responds, oh, good morning, easy living. Wonderful news that. What can I help you with?
We needed his magic for something, didn't we?
Trying to track down the alpha.
Try and track down the alpha.
Oh, yeah,
potentially analyze more of the magic if possible.
We came across some interesting more magic, and we were wondering if you could help us analyze that and help us track down the big werewolf.
I can certainly see what I can do. Should I make my way back to your headquarters?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
All right, I'll be there just momentarily, and he appears in the base.
Buds, what's up, bud?
Oh,
My spuddy
that
buddy.
is very handy.
It's a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, it's a quick travel.
Only safest when I'm going places that I've been before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Otherwise, you might end up
Fair.
in a vault or something.
Oh,
Yes.
look, now there's a teleportation like lock on the base. Cynthia's gonna be so excited.
Yeah, for her birthday, I'm just going to buy her a new base and just
Well,
not tell anybody
no
yet.
one else should be able to.
That's really good. You know what I'll
Harness
do
my
is
path.
I'll
That's
put
good.
up like the shelves and things like that.
Oh no, I'm not telling anyone else.
It's just for her.
It is just for her.
All right, fine. I'll probably just soup up her engine again so it goes even faster.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom vroom.
Okay, so what did you need me to look at?
We came across some pixie. What was pixie? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Some
was a
pixie
pixie.
magic last night, and we were wondering if you could help Sylvie take a gander at it.
Or do you have any? What exactly were they influencing?
A werewolf.
Tony's still here, or did he try and leave?
He's still
Tony's
here.
still here. He's just
He's still in the
sitting in a corner.
doghouse, so
Yeah.
sitting in a corner.
he's literally in the doghouse. Joe's just kind of like nearby him. No, just
There
kidding.
was also a theory that potentially Fey magic could overwrite the Alpha's ability to control our friendly werewolves temporarily. And
I
we were
can't-
wondering what your opinion on that would be.
Think it would depend on the scope of the magic and the influence. Considering what we know about Halcyon, I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be some ability for influence there, since it pervades every inch of the city. But without being able to test the limits firsthand, there is a chance it might not be as potent for the werewolves outside of Halcyon as it would be for those who live within its boundaries regularly and are official members of this pack.
And it just nods like all of that made any sense to her.
Valid.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Roxy's just kind of like sees Elena do it and also just nods
Of
like
course, why didn't I think of that?
that makes
Mhm,
so
mhm.
much sense.
Mainly,
All right.
we're looking to reduce the influence the Alpha will have on the 2 or 3 werewolves that have currently been involved in his pack in some way, shape, or form. So we don't end up fighting our allies when this imminent battle hits the fan.
I see. If I have some time to study the magic and influence on said werewolves, I might be able to come up with a magic charm or ward that could help. No. How long do we have? I guess I should ask first.
48
That points
hours.
to the clock on the.
Ah. I can see what I can do. I can't. Not really sure how much I can guarantee, since we are on a bit of a time crunch.
And help assist you after a quick information run that I have to do, but
Sure.
and hopefully help you develop something.
I think your expertise in the area would be beneficial.
I also know that Watchdog and Echo are currently in the lab testing other theories. If that might glean you more information.
Okay. I can pay them a visit as well. See if there's anything I can do. And if you didn't have anything else for the moment, he'll go off to the lab where Cynthia and Joe are.
Yeah, I don't think Sylvie has anything else for him at the moment.
Okay. Nope. Let's go ahead and follow what Sylvie's gonna do in making contact with Leo.
Sylvie is going to go to the Mexican restaurant first and foremost because that's the coordinate she gave to Leo. And she's going to check with the front to see if he left any messages or anything first and foremost.
Yes, a message was left that You should stick around for lunch and grab a margarita with me. The blue ones are especially good.
Okay. The Sylvie will radio back to the base that she has lunch plans with her informant,
All right.
but I think she'll head and that she's on her way back to help with the research until then.
Are we still buddy systeming or like?
I took the bike.
Oh yeah, technically that is a buddy. Ah,
Yep.
good one. Loopholes.
Sylvie comes with 2 self-made buddies at all times.
That's true. And the cat. You just got like low key, she's like a ranger fae.
Yeah, she is totally a ranger fae.
With all the animal companions.
Danger, danger.
Danger, danger.
Okay.
Ranger danger.
Yeah, so you can get back to the base. Let's pop in and see what Cynthia and Joe are doing.
Hey. So, what exactly are we doing? We just putting silver on me until...
I thought we were testing Kevlar stuff. Ooh,
You're not
wait,
in
is oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
It's all simultaneous.
I also was like, I don't think Kevlar's thing.
The psychic equivalent of cracking your head open like a walnut.
Oh.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They're way better.
Yeah. Okay. Just, I guess, sorry about the early parts about you. Didn't really have context for a lot of stuff.
I've heard worse.
Okay.
All right. What I'm going to start with is when I was in Tony's head, I was able to relive some of his memories of, or at least understand some of his memories better. I'm hoping that we can think through some of your interactions with the Alpha and see if I can figure out exactly what's going on there.
Okay. Well,
Like I
Good
said,
news.
it's not going to be pleasant.
Good news is those memories are pretty fresh.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's what we gotta do. I will take this over not dying.
Fair. Figure once we've got this out of the way, we can probably move on to easier stuff like silver.
Yeah, easier.
I'm sorry again, but needs must. Okay,
Well,
you might want to sit.
all right.
Actually, I might also want to sit. She's gonna probably like just clear a space on the floor because less room to fall over into. She sits in like a sort of half lotus cross-legged position, whatever. Gestures for Joe to sit across from her.
Joe will do so. Takes him a second to figure out how to like cross his legs.
You don't have to sit like this. I just, if you fall over, I'd rather not have you crack your head on the floor.
Appreciated.
Okay. Above the table, so Joe was turned by blindside and then met the Alpha at like the ceremony thing
Yes.
in like the secret.
Yep.
All right.
I guess, should I just give like a rundown of the events leading up to that?
Yeah, let's start
guess?
with that. And then she's gonna have like specific things to test out as you like throughout that.
So I guess sort of a fast forward version of that 64-page backstory here. So first and foremost, Joe is attacked on the night of his 18th birthday party. It's like a huge party that his mom and Sam are throwing for him. He sort of steps away because you're in your head. You would know that he steps away because he's been basically told that he's going to college, and he feels weird about that, and he doesn't know why.
Oh.
And then out of nowhere, there is a giant animal lashed onto his shoulder, and he's falling into the river, and he's nearly drowning, and he's now got a giant wound in his arm, and is worried that his football career is officially over because he just got attacked by a bear, question mark? And Joe's first sighting of the Alpha is shortly after that, in a dream that he has that night.
Interesting.
In which he sees blindside in a falling raindrop being rewarded, quote unquote, by the Alpha. Like one would reward a pet. And having seen how big Blindside is a werewolf, given the scale of the hand that sort of congratulates him, the Alpha's huge. I'm talking like a whale-sized wolf here. Fast forwarding a bit, Joe finds out he's a werewolf, has his first change while he is isolated with Henry, very nearly kills her, but Henry saves herself with her powers.
Yep.
You do see the incident that sort of earned him Iron Maiden's ire, which has him chained up in her basement and nearly breaking free while in werewolf form.
Ah! Okay.
Worth noting, he does not realize he's in werewolf form until somebody shows him a mirror, at which point he has an identity crisis because what the hell, I'm a monster now. He then force of wills himself back into being human.
Interesting.
And I'll say that there's like a weird mental like asterisk on that, because that becomes important in Joe's memory a bit later. He then tries to hide it for a bit. And I guess you'd probably learn that Henry's father was an apprentice of Texarkana, which is why Joe knew about Texarkana.
Ah, interesting.
He goes about hiding it. There's relationship drama with Henry. I presume you skip over most of that.
She doesn't care.
Joe ends up
Fast
rescuing.
forwards.
Yep, Joe ends up rescuing Henry with his wolf powers and is like, "Hey, this superhero thing is actually pretty great." Through Henry's convincing, becomes a superhero. You're pretty familiar with that already. Then Tony approaches them, starts up a friendship, and eventually reveals to Joe that he is in fact also a werewolf and was dispatched to collect Joe. Because it turns out Joe was a little difficult to collect because he is such a popular personality and was constantly surrounded by people.
Interesting.
Joe, with the thought process of finally I can figure out what the hell's going on with all this werewolf bullshit, decides to attend. Encounters 3 other folks. I can describe them in more detail if you care. I'm not certain they'll be relevant. Meets Aroma for the first time, and you sort of got most of the recording of that already, with her being displeased with his attitude and deciding to choke him out for a second. Then you get to the party, which is strikingly familiar to most of the upper social class parties you've been to, aside from the fact that everybody's in animal masks.
She's been to a party or two like that.
Worth noting, most of them are canid, and you do sort of get an explanation later on of like the different levels. The betas have like very fancy masks, it seems. The gammas have all the same uniform like wolf mask, and the deltas have like a variety. And I guess how well would Cynthia know animal science?
I'd give her a 50-50.
You might notice that not all of the masks the people are wearing are necessarily canid in origin. There are animals that are wolf-like, but are not actually wolves. Like, the one notable outlier would probably be hyenas.
Interesting. So like dog-ish, but not
Yeah.
canid.
Not necessarily canid. Worth noting, Joe does not specifically pick up on that because he just doesn't know.
Interesting.
And then Joe encounters the Alpha. The Alpha legitimately seems to appear out of nowhere, speaks a language that he doesn't know but somehow understands. Regardless, pretty safe to say that it's magic. And then force of wills him to bow and change. And you can feel from Joe's memories, he basically had no choice in either. Like, it was absolute and complete domination. There's a series, there's a trial for initiation that goes a little off the rails when Blindside shows up to quell Joe's little outburst, because Joe puts together that the other initiates can't actually control their changing. It's an
Oh,
ability
interesting.
granted to them by the Alpha, but he force of willed it on himself somehow. He doesn't have a clue how, but he uses it to embarrass the Alpha and piss everyone off at him. Because basically the Alpha goes to give him the gift, he steps away, changes on his own, everybody's shocked, he says some snide remarks, and everybody's just staring at him pissed. So yeah.
Interesting.
That's why there was an asterisk on that previous change, because as far as Joe knows, he is the only werewolf of his particular ability to figure out how to do that.
Change to a wolf, change back from a wolf, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Like, as far as Joe knows, and I suppose Charlie can confirm this via Tony's teachings that you maybe also would see as you're going through Joe's head a little bit, newly minted werewolves from the pack generally can't control it. It's usually something that's supposed to be tied to the moon. Joe broke it somehow.
Yep. And at the ceremony, the Alpha did force Joe to change.
It did force Joe to change, but did not. It was like a ritual that had like a magic touch on each of the initiates, but Joe never got the touch, and he hypothesizes that's why the Alpha doesn't have like complete puppetry of him.
Okay, so Joe has never been like forcefully shifted by the Alpha.
He has been forcefully shifted. He's never been like granted the ability to control it himself, quote unquote.
I'm asking more about the having been forcefully shifted at some point by the
yes.
Alpha.
Yes, he has been forcefully shifted, but it was more like a blanket of the whole party.
Okay, so was this in the same incident?
Yes.
Okay, so didn't receive the gift, but was forcefully shifted.
Yes.
All right. After reviewing all of this, so you said they were kind of just thinking for a moment. I think I know where to start. Okay, I'm going to ask you to recall some of this, and we're going to run some comparisons. First.
Note at this point, Joe is like sitting there sweating.
Cynthia has bigger problems. My apologies. Her mundane score is not good.
Yeah, that's fine. Joe's just sitting there like, just sitting here reliving trauma.
Do you need to take a break?
Keep going. We need to do this. I have time for me to bliss out now.
We'll start harder and go easy or near the end, okay?
Ugh.
I want you to remember once more the night that you were with Henry and you changed.
Okay.
And what she's going to be doing specifically is she's going to be kind of like trying to mentally pick apart every little bit of that to get a sense for what was going on, like if it had anything, like how this happened, if it's on a level that she can comprehend it at all. And her plan is to eventually compare that to what happened when the Alpha forced him to change and see if there's a notable difference in the processes.
Okay. First thing, easy to confirm, full moon. Like, that was actually like directly told to Joe later on, is that the first full moon after your bit is supposed to initiate the change. From Joe's perspective, it also seemed to just like make him angrier as it built up. You kind of, like, running through the events, get a lot of thoughts of like things that frustrate him, like how he feels disconnected with his mom, how Sam is kind of trying to force a connection, how he's really not thrilled about Sam's father being a jackass about things.
That's fair. So
And
was
how,
it that you felt all these things kind of coming to the surface?
yeah, it seems that they were almost being like forced forward, and there was also a physiological reaction of he just like started feeling hot and just like physically warm. He also ran into a deer and lost his cool and proceeded to beat up the corpse and change during that.
I'm sorry, I'm picturing Human Joe just punching a deer corpse.
Yeah, that's how it started. And then he
That,
grew
but I also
fangs.
love it.
Then he grew fangs and claws and proceeded to turn it into hamburger.
Okay. One sec.
So yeah, it kind of seemed like a emotional snowball effect that led up to his first transformation. Um, Nothing like that when the alpha triggered it.
Okay, because that's what she's gonna have you do next. Think about what happened with the alpha changing you on purpose.
With the alpha, it was more just like mental pressure, which I suppose since you're in his head, you would know that he would immediately compare to what you generally do with him. Um,
Hold that thought. Is that something he thinks? Like that comparison?
it's something he thinks. I guess, Charlie, would it actually be similar as far as Cynthia's aware? Because Joe just more drew that comparison himself.
Um, I think it could be like the feeling could be similar to some of what Cynthia does. I don't think like just general telepathy elicits the same response. It's more
Yeah.
if you're trying to like psychically influence people or like forcefully dig through memories and thoughts. So I don't know if at this point Joe would well, I guess was this a comparison like an older comparison that just surfaces as he's thinking about these events? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think that thought is more like passive um as it surfaces, just kind of like as an addendum to that experience. Um but would not be it basically not be like a one-to-one comparison.
It's something that like goes through his head and then
Yeah. Because I
And that
think
incidentally,
even with your experience with Hecate and like her effects of telepathy, you know that the sensation is not the same.
fair enough.
though it's worth noting, Joe did not really have that frame of reference when he first met you, which is why he had his concerns about Hecate. Because he was like, oh, you're a super powerful psychic. Cool.
Okay, so before I go down this rabbit hole, is it that Cynthia's never done anything to him that would be any sort of equivalent, or that it's not within her power set?
It's that she's not done anything of the equivalent to Joe. So it's more
Okay.
of like speculation of like, oh, is this something I'd imagine something that like is this something that Cynthia's capable of?
We're about to find out.
Okay.
Cynthia, she's not going to do it without telling you.
I just clenched.
I'd say probably at this point, Spuds like knocks on the door.
It's open. It's not open. She unlocks it telekinetically.
Okay. He pushes inside and says, hello?
Hello.
I
Hey.
heard that you were doing some tests. Is there anything that I can help with?
We could use a neutral referee, probably. And then we can work from there.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be your temporarily appointed sheriff.
I'm about to try something dangerous. I'd like you to stop me if it starts going wrong.
Can do.
Joe,
Yeah.
I'd like to preface this by saying you can say no to this. You drew a comparison between what I do and what the Alpha does. Which, fair, I suppose, but
I mean, in the same way you can compare a Bolter P-38 to a ship cannon, maybe.
I'm not talking about equivalency in power level. I'm talking about equivalency in power approach. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on the other end of this, and I have a very specific toolbox to work with.
And do you want to try what the Alpha did?
I want you to think about something that you don't want me to know, but that you wouldn't necessarily care if I knew. And I'm going to try to figure out what it is. And it might hurt. I don't know. I don't do this to people, really. I don't know if I can do this to people. So we'll find out.
Yeah, I got one. Thinking
Then
about
let's
it now.
go. I'm assuming this is something like an Unleash Your Powers.
Oh yeah.
That's
Kool-Aid
fair.
Man. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Me breaking through Joe's skull. Where did I? Oh,
It's
there
like
it
the
is.
Mortal Kombat like X-ray view. That is just like the
Oh.
Kool-Aid Man going through his frontal lobe.
Oh yeah. All right. Actually need to get my dice because I did not get them out yet.
Total knockout.
Here they are. So thank you again, Jenna, for the very lovely dice. Okay, this is Freak.
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, I mean, you do have influence over Joe, so you get a +1.
Congratulations.
All right. I needed that +1.
Oh,
So I rolled a 5, and then I have a +1 from Freak, and then I have a +1 from Influence,
Ooh,
which is a 7.
okay.
Ooh, boy. Okay. Would you like to mark a condition, or I can tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
I think unstable or temporary works because she's not going for longevity in this effect. She just wants to see if it's doable.
Okay. Yeah, there's very much a, like, from both ends, Joe, you're experiencing a, probably, since it's unstable, and uneven pressure. Like, kind of like how someone is squishing, you remember those, like, 90s toys that were, like, the liquid inside the little
Yes.
tubes? It's like
Oh,
squishing one of
no.
those. Uh,
Brain squeeze.
and you're sort of similar. You're feeling this, like, sort of elastic resistance, Cynthia, as you're pushing in, but you do manage to dive in deep enough to get a sense of what the thoughts are. And what is Joe thinking of?
Joe would be thinking of what at first appears to be an intimate moment between him and Henry.
Oh no.
Before Henry connects with something and pulls back, and they both simultaneously realize that Joe has a tail.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you basically get that, you push in and see that moment of realization before you're just mentally, like, ricocheted backwards into your own brain.
You know what? She's not mad about that because that's enough.
It's finally been confirmed.
It's a tiny little nub of a thing, but he does have a tail. And by the time he come out, Joe is just like blushing. So I think you saw that.
I won't tell them.
Knowing my luck, they're probably gonna figure it out sometime soon.
Probably. That's a you problem.
Yep.
Compare the feeling.
If the alpha had like a stranglehold, you were like pinching, I guess.
So similar kind of thing, much different power level.
Yeah.
That does narrow some things down. From what you've told me about the alpha, this is primarily a magic-based being. Yes?
As far as I've been told, but seems like the alpha was blowing a lot of smoke up people's asses, so
That's fair. If the alpha is some sort of psychic, there's a lot you can do with that to trick. But if the alpha's magic, then it's curious that it's the same sort of effect. We do have magic comparison right here, though. I don't know if you'd be ethically okay with this, she says to Spuds.
When you have some control over very fabric of reality, ethics get a little fuzzy. So it's sort
Fair.
of dependent on what you need me to do.
If you've got another memory that you don't want people to know, but it's not terribly damaging if they do, figured we'd try a more magical means of prying it out. See if we can't narrow down what's going on with the alpha.
okay. Yeah, I think I got another one.
In that case, it's up to you.
Let me know if this gets to be a bit much.
We went beyond much like a day ago, but let's keep moving.
Oh, fair enough. And his magic tome spins into existence and flips open to a random page. And Spuds, for the first time, pulls off his gloves, and you can actually see that there is some like runes and other things drawn onto his hands.
Oh, that's cool.
Unclear if they're tattoos at the moment, but it's definitely something that's like heavily, it'd be like what's the word? Uh I
I'm not certain what you're going for here.
I know.
Describe it.
Yeah, if something is like really strong or potent, like very like high quality or high grade. What that
Refined?
No. Anyway, it's like it'd be similar to very concentrated Sharpie.
Okay.
Okay.
And he begins muttering some magic words, and the symbols on his hands light up. And
Oh, that's really cool.
you have that breathe up, like, oh my god, he's so cool. Before
Yeah.
it feels like a suffocating cage is just wrapped around your brain and squeezing.
Oh, jeez. If it matters at all, Joe's memory this time around is of little kid Joe kissing a movie poster.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Is it for a Western?
Yes. I even have the name of the movie and the actress.
Oh my god.
And there's like a second of like just an extra little squeeze before it releases, and Spuds says, "Nice taste in movies."
Thanks. Ooh, jeez. So I'm guessing of the two, Spuds' was closer to it.
Yes, like just the feeling of the pressure.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if this would like be a little bit of a PTSD moment where it sends him back into that like moment at the initiation, but it very much like kind of the sense of having your brain cut off from everything else.
Weirdly, because he just went through it with Cynthia, I feel like it's a little less worrying because of that, because he literally just like re-experienced it by memory flipping. So I do think he's like shaking his head a little bit and like takes a second to steady himself before going. Okay, Spuds was a lot closer.
Good to know. All right. I think that pretty strongly suggests we are, in fact, dealing with magic.
Cool. Ugh. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Mm.
Okay.
Did my mouth always taste like that?
What's it taste like? You say potatoes, I'm gonna laugh.
Like day old peanut butter.
That might be a you-specific problem.
Just because I love this mental image, the Spuds is just like, sorry about that here. Maybe this will make it up to you. And pulls a potato out of his pocket and hands it to you.
I fully think Joe is now a little brain fried enough to just like take the potato and start eating it.
Oh, yeah, you like don't really register it at first, but then you crack it open and steam comes out.
Oh
It's a
shit!
nice like roasted potato.
Shit! That's cool.
Good potato.
No, thank you. It's my mom's recipe.
Okay.
So, if it is magic, I guess question would be for you, Spuds. How do we make what you just did not work?
There's potentially a couple ways. Charms, wards. Might be a little bit of a long shot, but if I know where the source, like where the source is, what the source is, and when it's sort of being enacted or used, I might be able to counter it myself. But that is a trickier option, especially if it's considering what we're dealing with, it's less familiar person.
Well, I think it's safe to say that it's probably going to be coming from the 70-foot wolf monster.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
What do you mean?
more so like who and where it's coming from as far as knowing their location. Because if this alpha can use this ability without us being able to see him, then that's a whole different ballgame.
Or if the wolf is some kind of, I don't know, hard light projection.
Think the alpha's fake?
Could be
No,
an
I think if
illusion.
you're dealing with that power level, you're good at decoys. I don't think that's necessarily what's happening, but I don't think we should rule it out.
What those non-magical magicians like to say, sleight of hand. Misdirection.
It'd be in their wheelhouse with how careful they've been. Set up a giant chair with a giant target in it so that nobody's looking at the person actually in charge.
You did say that the alpha just appeared.
Yeah, apparently they always do that at club meetings.
So either the alpha can teleport, or it's some sort of summoning. Projection creation. But it's also possible the alpha can teleport.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Teleporting 70-foot wolf.
Boy, okay. So, alright, but you said that there were other things, like charms and such. I mean, do you have one? Can you make one?
I can try making one. I might need some assistance from you to try and dig in a little bit and see if I can't locate the source of magic. Miss Sylvie might also be able to help since we have been talking about Fey influence.
Yeah, she
Can
said that
send her in
there's
if you like.
she said there's like 2 bits of magic in me, I guess. Which, huh? I guess you'd be the guy to ask, Spuds. Are werewolves just magic? I mean, I guess that would kind of make sense because, like, I got tested a few times after getting bit and nothing ever showed up. So if it's just been magic, that would explain why nobody's been able to notice it.
It's a little complicated. There's some genetic and DNA components to it, but with some of the legends and the lore, possibly a different type of magical influence.
Huh. I guess that explains why Tony got so juiced up. Injects magical steroids into a magical killing machine. You get a magical steroid killing machine. I don't know. My brain hurts.
Magical tank.
Yeah, that's better. Ugh.
All right. Well, while this is going on, Eugene returns to the base and has 3 people with him.
Echo is going to be so mad at us.
For those of you who are in the main part of the base, you see first of the 3 is a shorter man who's got some muscle. Probably looks like someone you'd see either as like a pretty dedicated weightlifter or maybe is ex-military. The second person looks to be a little reserved, not really imposing, non-binary. And the third is a woman towering over the other 2 accompanying Eugene. She is big, buff, and beefy.
Mama Werewolf. What? Hello. I'm Calamity, and this is Easy Living, and this is girlfriend's base. She's doing science experiments right now with Luna Ultima's son. Welcome. Can I get you a drink?
The woman says, "Sure, I wouldn't mind a water."
All right. Anything for either you?
The other 2, well, the non-binary individual nods, and the other man says, "Sure, works for me."
All right.
We have
what's all
I
your
think we have
names?
pastries down here, don't we?
I don't know.
We had
Eugene,
something for breakfast. Oh.
Eugene goes around and introduces everyone, and the shorter man is Hank. The non-binary individual is Alex, and the woman is Sandy. And Eugene
Alex,
says,
Sandy, and what was the other one?
Sandy, Alex, and Hank.
Hank. First Hank. Hank
and
would-
Eugene says, "These are some of my friends from back home. They agreed to come help out."
Aw,
Got here so fast.
thanks so much for coming
Not
to
really,
help
it's
out
been a week.
my the longest week of my life. I don't even
Yesterday
know
was
how to
a very long
describe
day.
this. Like we had that one week that actually lasted months, and it didn't seem this long.
We had a day that lasted for months, and it's just like
It's
Time.
taking. Yeah,
What even is time?
it's a weird soup. Everybody likes soup, right?
Sandy says it's good every now and then.
All right. You're right. Does anybody need snacks? I think we might have some egg rolls. I don't know what we have in the house
Eugene
already.
says, yeah, I think we could all use something to eat. We were out pretty much all night.
Yeah. All right. I'll go get some egg rolls and stuff warmed up.
Okay. I'd say probably with the new cacophony of voices that Cynthia and Joe would hear this. Maybe not everything clearly, but you would hear muffles of conversation from inside the lab.
Sounds like my dad's
and
back.
Und Spuds is here helping with the mind magic.
Ah, yeah. We should ask Bertram if he could go grocery shopping for us, because I'm pretty sure we're not gonna have time.
We can just keep ordering. Takeout.
That's fair. That's fair. We could get pizzas next or something. Just feels weird not to cook. All right. Anyways, you know. All right. Well, I don't know what we're supposed to do to help with the planning. I really
I
just
was going to try
am-
the silvers.
I mean, we could have Freya open a portal and then I could just start chucking werewolves in there, but like I feel like some of them aren't supposed to are like innocent, so like we probably shouldn't just throw them into a random fey portal. That might not like for me that would be the solution is me and Freya be like buddies and I just start throwing werewolves. But I don't know.
The watchdog said the silver impacts them, and she just kind of gestures vaguely at Tony. Und not. And then gestures vaguely at Lunar Ultima and friends.
Yeah. Eugene agrees and says, yeah, that's not really
Yeah, so I
something
think
that impacts us.
maybe we can go just buy some silver and melt it down. But we would have
yeah.
to keep it hot to keep it liquid.
Yeah. What if they had some like the colloidal silver something? It's at the pharmacy. Does that one work? Should we spray it on Tony's arm and find out?
Oh, we can test it and see what happens.
Yeah, Tony.
It's like we're doing science.
we
Echo
get
would
to
be
do
so proud.
science experiments too. Cynthia's gonna be so proud.
Cynthia's like, I sense a disturbance.
I feel like Tony's sitting in the corner like, oh god.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
Tony's just like, I'm gonna die.
What did I just
In the name of
volunteer?
science.
My sister is going to kill me.
My
My
sister, the
sister's
science
clone.
experiment, is going to kill me in a science experiment. That's
Poetic, I
irony.
think.
That's like full on irony. I love it.
Yeah, so I just run over there and get some and then probably just buy a whole fucking jewelry store at this point. So we have access to a lot of silver in case we come up with any better ideas.
Well, that's a start.
Elena, if there's no objection, she'll just like go get her coat and start. Oh, I have to go through the top if I'm going to go out as a person. Go collect her coat and go up the elevator.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'm guessing Cynthia and Joe are just like, whatever happenings outside can just stay there. For the moment.
For the moment, Joe's sort of following Cynthia's lead in all of this. He does want to like check in on his dad, but he's like, we've got a mission we need to handle so we aren't all dead by this time tomorrow morning, so
What additional tests would Cynthia like to run? You're muted.
you're muted.
If you're dealing with magic, then that limits what one half of my power set can do, but we can still have fun with the other. The way she says fun is perhaps mildly concerning.
I mean, I don't know if Echo still has it, but there is something she can use to access a magical power set.
She still has it. I don't think she's wearing it, but she has it on her person. I'm not sure that would occur to her, to be honest. Actually, remind me what that does, because it's been like 3 million years.
It's a brooch with Sylvie's blood, and it allows access to Sylvie's powers by touch. If I remember
right.
It was like a one-use case, and then it would have to be like Sylvie would have to basically like reinfuse it.
Mhm.
I think she's probably going to save that for when she sees a direct use. She also doesn't want to have to ask Sylvie to redo it. You know. Okay, so in terms of physical things that can be done to harm werewolves, we've got Silver. Doesn't work on the other guys, or your dad's guys, works on the Alpha's people.
Yeah.
Okay. We have sensory overload.
That would work on all of us, I think.
Yeah, like a dog whistle over like a loudspeaker.
You're not
You're
here.
not here.
Oh crap. I also keep forgetting to put myself on mute, so there's that.
Okay, if that affects both sides, then I'd rather not have it as a primary strategy, but you can talk to them and see if they have any ideas for using it as a backup somewhere. Elemental magic and damage.
Yeah, like physical stuff is relatively easy to heal from, but like fire, electricity, like that can lay on the hurt.
Work with that.
Please don't set me on fire.
I'm not going to set you on fire. All right, I don't think I need you for this phase of the testing.
Okay.
I'm gonna... What's the point of a workshop if you don't use it? I'm gonna try to put together some things that we can do to disperse silver quickly over a large amount of area. And we've still got someone's weather gun somewhere around here, so I'm gonna see if I can pick that apart a little, even though it's been plantified.
Grown into like a whole like hedgerow in the one of the labs.
So I'm looking at tech solutions at the moment. If you have ideas for magic solutions, that seems like a conversation between you, Spud, and I can get Sylvie in here.
Well, Spud, you said maybe we could work up some sort of mental block thing with Sylvie, right?
Can certainly see what I can do.
Let's go maybe try that. She's probably still here. Did she leave? She said she was
Sylvie?
gonna leave.
She's probably on, if not back soon. She did leave briefly to try and see. And Spud's knows she ran out real quick to try and get information.
And then we can get started with that, I guess, and I don't know, maybe my dad should be involved in this, sort of give you like a what's it called, a baseline example.
Works for me.
Could certainly be helpful.
All right.
Okay.
Let me know if you need anything.
Sure. We've got areas if you need space. Just let me know if something's locked that shouldn't be.
Sounds good. So they can... Spuds and Joe can head back out into the main room.
And I presume Joe will easily see his dad and friends.
Yes, I think they're probably all standing around the like kitchen island or table or whatever is set up in the base while Roxy is giving out drinks and heating up leftover Chinese food. just catering to their needs.
Hey, you're okay.
Eugene looks over you and smiles and says, "Yeah, sorry. We had a little bit of catching up to do, but he'll go around to his 3 friends and say, "These are my friends, Hank, Alex, and Sandy."
Nice to meet y'all. And Joe will actually like come over and shake each of their hands.
Yeah. Even with your strength, Sandy is like feels like it's practically crushing your hand.
Wow.
But he's like very like friendly about it. It's like so nice to meet you. Just like a little, just gripping a little too tightly. Hank also has a pretty stiff grip, but is just like more firm rather than painful. And Alex just very gently shakes your hand.
So, I'm guessing you're all like me and Dad?
Is Fiber here?
Thanks for coming. That sounds weird. I'm sorry. I just Whew.
Sandy just grins and kind of like puts a fist in like one of her hands and says, "No need to thank me. I'm happy to bring down some grade A assholes a peg or two."
I think you two are gonna get along. Sort of emotions between Calamity and Sandy. If Dad, if you're not busy, me and Spuds, we're gonna try to figure out some sort of like, what you call it, a ward to like keep the alpha in my head. Figured maybe you could serve as a good like example of how it's supposed to be.
Oh my gosh, are you gonna get a magical tattoo?
Sort of like turns around to Spuds.
He's like, if you want it as a tattoo, like that's certainly an option.
That would be such a good thing to have permanently, just in case you
Otherwise
have
it
any
could-
other alpha holes that you run into.
Could be a temporary ink or just like a charm that you wear. Keep on your person.
Oh, a charm that you wear. That makes way more sense.
I mean, it's an option. Tattoos are certainly a way some people keep their.
Ooh, could you even have one on a werewolf that like heals? Because I like don't know if I can even get tattoos, which is kind of whatever. It's fine.
That's an interesting idea, but I think since it'd be like a magically infused tattoo, it'd probably be more
Yeah, no,
liable
that's
to
a
stick
good.
around.
That's a good point. Wait, is this some sort of ward that can keep me from becoming a werewolf? Since genetically, I probably have the
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I guess I can just like let all of you know about this. They're related, sort of emotions between Tony and Roxy, and he's infected with alpha werewolf like me, so she's got to be careful about this, I guess.
Well, we need to figure out if I could be infected by like a regular werewolf. Wait, it's not
Oh
infected.
yeah.
Like then I could just not if that keeps me outside the alpha's control. So like that we need to explore some preventative measures for not becoming like I already like I'm pretty good when I get mad, but like I'm already really strong. And then if I've got like uncontrollable, I don't know what the process is, but like I could become very dangerous if the alpha has me in its hands.
as you're sort of explaining the Tony Roxy relation, Eugene starts studying Roxy very intently.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
What's up, Pa?
We I don't know if it's the same for potential. Well, I'm not sure how different the usual indicators would appear in Halcyon because of the alpha's influence, but we might be able to figure out if you're susceptible to turning into a werewolf.
How?
There's we usually have some like traditional rituals and tests that we go to get an
Okay.
idea of someone's potential, so it could be something to try.
Yeah. I would much rather turn into like a full like no offense, Joan. Tell me, there's just I don't feel like that would be a cute look for me. You know,
I mean,
I've got an aesthetic to keep up.
I don't think it's really cute for anybody. Rocks, the whole like no cheeks thing is like terrifying on its own.
You don't have cheeks.
Did you not notice? When I smile as Watchdog, it looks terrifying.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's fine. I know you were saying you didn't have a tail, but like, I don't know. I've never really checked that part of you out. So, except for that one time when I wanted to see if you had a tail. It's purely for science.
So yeah, let's go maybe work on that tattoo thing.
Sure.
And I guess if you guys can help Rocks, that'd be great. Somehow.
Yeah.
Sandy looks over at Hank and Alex and says, "Oh, we're familiar enough with the process, so sure, if we can have a look, see what we can do. Might need to raid your cabinets."
There's probably a lot of stuff. Do you need kitchen cabinet or like science room stuff from the cabinet? Because
Let's start with the kitchen.
all right, I can show you around the kitchen. I'm not allowed to touch some of the stuff in the science lab, so you would have to talk to Cynthia about that.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you guys want to hear a funny story about Joe? One time, he had the sex talk with me, and it was so awkward.
She's doing it on purpose. She's doing it on purpose. She's doing it on purpose. She's doing it on purpose.
I mean, technically, you were correct, Joe. I had not had sex at that point because I'm only
not
2 years
listening.
old. But I do think that the other Roxy had sex. So
What's the age of consent for clones?
she appears to have a mature body. Whatever.
Yeah, but Sandy will just start gathering up a bunch of random things from the kitchen.
This girl's
Like,
awkward. And then
baking soda, some vinegar, various
Promising.
spices
looks promising.
like basil, oregano.
Cuckoo. She wants to see Tony's reaction to Joe giving her the sex talk.
I'm unsure if it's because of the conversation or just the general atmosphere and what's going on. He looks very miserable in the corner.
Mission accomplished as a sister. All right. Now he's got 2 of us. All right.
He'll never know peace.
No. It's going to be terrible.
He'll never know peace until the day he dies. Wait.
Well, that's coming up real fast.
Yep.
He's only got a couple days, so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Put him out of his misery.
Poor
mopey brother.
I feel like everything we might be jumping into will take a little bit longer, so I think now's a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
And we can come back and explore all of these avenues of things to do. So
Stuff and things. Stuff and things.
be back here in 10 minutes.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. with you, it all seems so distant. With you, under street lights right next to the skyline. With you, yeah. I've been a cynic for so many of my days. Now you just my makeup believer out of me. 'Cause you look so pretty in the sunrise, and somehow now everything is alright.
I think I've got an answer right away here, so I'll
It's a
go
cowboy.
first.
Lizard cowboy.
Texarkana cosplay.
Rude.
That's Crow. He's annoyed with us for ruining the surprise.
Son of a. I mean, you could have predicted it, but like, come on, man. Try to
Not
be
on your
anyway.
plate. It's hard to make friends when you keep a secret like your identity. I get that. That's why I probably fell for all the girls. It was nice to have somebody else who was just in it. I didn't have to tell them that, oh yeah, by the way, I might never die or age, or could be some sort of weird science experiment. And I can punch things real hard. And also,
I mean, in all fairness, if you're a science experiment, I think that just turns Cynthia on.
it's fair. That's fair.
Out in the
Is
living
that-
room, Eugene chokes.
Rex?
Yeah. Good news. I'm not dead.
That is good news, yes.
We didn't get in a fight. I picked up Henry, and then we found her mom, and then she stood up to her and set boundaries, and it was good. It was very,
And
very good.
Iron Maiden respected those boundaries?
No, absolutely not. She's an asshole.
Okay.
She
Glad
did-
you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't start a fight with me. Maybe having Henry there made. Well, I did promise Henry I wouldn't punch her mom first.
I appreciate that.
I wasn't gonna. Well, I don't really want to start fights. I don't know if I've actually ever started a fight, except for the time I started a fight with a wall at the hairspray factory, or that time I broke reality. But that's not really fighting people. That's like objects. Whatever. It's philosophical things. It's late. I don't know. I've got.
I feel like shortly after Liz leaves, Janet comes back into the garage, like locks eyes with Parker. We're stealing mail. Get dressed.
God damn it, Janet. Cut to black.
Oh my god. Okay. This will not go horribly wrong. Okay. Oh, with that,
Well, can I really quick? Because this is fast. Because this is like a total counter to what Janet just did. When Liz gets home, Dominic's sitting outside the gate, and that's when he says it out loud to her. So now his animals picked up on him saying it. So it's like the plans are just everything's gone to crap.
Okay.
all right.
So what is effectively happening is that one meme of someone about to get shot and someone's like, no, 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 no. Just diving in front of each other.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Maya didn't.
Flynn's
know.
asleep.
Yeah,
Oh
Maya
my
didn't.
God.
Flynn is asleep. No.
What a way to end off episode 2. What a cliffhanger.
Under the trees, I found a box of blackbirds.
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes, get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. 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 Show me love.
He was hoping you didn't
Me
just catch
meeting.
me getting out of my own chair.
You were just part of the void.
Yeah.
So
We all
I
become one with the
think
void.
what
Someday, yeah.
I think what we can do is jump around a little bit and see Sylvie's lunch date with Leo.
Ooh.
Fine.
Yes.
This is not going to go badly at all.
So-
it's fine.
Later you can head out to the Mexican restaurant.
Mhm.
Just say in the back corner, Leo's already got a table. There's 2 baskets of chips and salsa and guacamole. Actually, we'll do the trio. There's salsa, guacamole, and queso.
I think Sylvie will sit down in the booth. Sylvie will not eat the chips because who knows what Leo did to them. Leo is Fae.
Leo does not seem perturbed and happily eats the chips. I'll say probably a little bit later. I don't know, one of the servers will bring another basket of chips and
Yeah.
salsa for you.
Sylvie will definitely still order a margarita because why not? And it will be blue.
Yeah.
And she'll pretty much cut to the chase because she's on a timeline and wants to get this information back. And she'll ask Leo what they have discovered.
They take a minute to chew the mouthful of chips they're
Yeah.
eating and swallow, and pick up another chip and sort of swirl it in the queso dish.
Mhm.
I'll say, well, the Alpha's magic is of Fey origin. I don't know who, but I have strong suspicions the alpha made a pact with someone.
Okay. Sylvie will describe the pixie magic she sensed and ask if there's anyone who would be in opposition of a pixie of similar talents.
Mhm. They think for a moment. So that's a little bit tricky since pixies usually throw in their allegiances where they may. For what it's worth, I don't think it's one of ours, though.
Do you have any theories on how this pact is being extended to the betas that the alpha is controlling, or how to disrupt it so we can, or to even the playing field a little?
I'm unsure on that front since I haven't had direct contact with the betas, but I imagine if you're able to disrupt the alpha's magic, that'll disrupt theirs. Had to come from somewhere.
Do you have any inclination as to the species this pact may have originated from? Does it have any trademarks that we could potentially use?
You mean as far as the whoever the pact was made with on our side?
Yes.
Probably one of the werewolves.
Hate Faye. And I'm seeing Joe Pro react in the bottom corner.
Actually, I guess I don't know if werewolf is the totally correct term for the Fae, but since shapeshifting is common.
Yes.
Makes sense that someone with wolf-like capabilities would grant similar status to whatever human they made a pact with.
These werewolves have this pack has a perchance for what hunting white stags. Are there any fae within your knowledge that would have a specific problem with that creature type as a symbol?
I don't know if the coloration would be so much a problem, but considering they are the typical companion of the hunt, I don't imagine anyone would look favorable on them being used in such a manner. But that's also a bit debatable considering we have a great understanding of the cycle of life and when needs must.
Have you been able to gather anything on their movements or plans? Any chinks in their armor?
Not yet. I haven't had much time to dig into it, but the Fey link was the biggest piece I'd uncovered so far.
It seems we have more than a few of our kin interfering right now.
You're referencing the pixie?
I am referencing the pixie.
I sensed their magic last night. Not sure how they're connected or who they're connected to, but my initial thought is they could be trying to throw a wrench in whatever wolf made this pact. Or it could be the pact owner having a little fun.
I'm inclined to believe that they are two separate parties, judging by the pact magic I've seen within the pack. Though if they are allied parties, I am unaware. Judging by the differences in magic that I have observed between the pack themselves and this new player.
I have nothing conclusive in that regard. Take a little bit more digging, but I did a cursory investigation in the Fey realm last night. Wasn't able to zero in on the location of the pixie. Wouldn't be surprised if it sworn allegiance to some other party that was able to mask its movements.
Seems that would mean there are bigger players at work than initially anticipated. More interference taking place. Strategically, we don't have much time before the pact will act. I think Sylvia will give a rundown of the powers we've observed in the betas and ask, and with that knowledge, what counters Leo would recommend. With the extremely limited knowledge we have.
You might be able to stand up against the pheromones. If you have someone who can deafen everyone, people can't be compelled to do something if they can't hear the order. Electricity and lightning is nullified by rubber. And if you're trying to keep tabs on someone who can turn invisible or move through walls, then I suggest finding someone with a very fine control of atoms and molecules.
Um, I think Sylvie will. I don't know how much time we have before our clock strikes 0 in terms of this confrontation. But I would ask that you keep looking into what potential movements and plans the pack has as they move against us. I would also hope that, if for nothing else other than pride, that you keep this, or that this pixie remains incapable of further interfering in this mission.
Rest assured that I will do my job, and I will do it well.
Can I also specifically use the adult move I took last session, Persuade with Best Interests? I appealing to Leo's vanity and pride as a member of the Fae, a higher ranking member of the Fae.
Sure. Go ahead and roll with Superior.
I found
Well,
it.
let's see if your dice actually like me.
Oh, is this the first roll with the
Yes,
fancy
this
dice?
is the first roll with the Fae dice. So
Mm.
what is my superior at right now? So I'm at an 8 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
PC, they can.
So they need concrete assurance right now.
I don't know if I have concrete assurance. I think, and you can determine if this is concrete assurance for Leo. I think Sylvie will say, just think what a mess this will look like if a mere pixie gets in the way of your mission. I have given you my word that you will take credit for anything involving stopping the alphas. And looking at it, it seems that some Fae has been messing about. And just think of what accolades you will obtain upon bringing potentially 2 individuals to light that have perhaps been working without the huntsman's knowledge.
The chip that they've been just idly dipping in the queso snaps in half.
Oh, lovely.
And they say, oh, seems even when we worked together, you really didn't pay all that much attention to other people's capabilities. And they will stand up and walk out of the restaurant.
I don't know how bad that just went, but I know it went bad.
I mean, so it worked. Like, it basically, in a sense that you prodded Leo enough to be like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna show you that I can do this just fine. So like,
It's fine. If Leo's angry with me, that's fine.
Yeah. So they're going to do their job, but they were just like, it's a fucking rich sentiment coming from you.
Yeah, no, I fully realize that. That's fine. Well, Sylvie will then pay for the food that we just ate and leave and go back to inform.
Just because I think it is very amusing while you're sitting there waiting for the check, a large burrito is delivered that would have been for Leo, and as you're waiting there, it just vanishes into existence, or vanishes out of existence.
Yep, no, that's fine. Sylvie will definitely pay for the check and go immediately back to inform everyone of just how much Fae involvement is there.
I will say that like while this was all going down, Spuds was able to put together what he thinks is a rudimentary charm that might be able to help with the alpha's influence, but won't know for sure until it's field tested. But is like the best that you're gonna get at this point. And
Better than nothing.
With the werewolf tests that Sandy is doing with Roxy, she comes to a very interesting conclusion and says, oh yeah, you know, I'm not really picking up any werewolf influence from you.
That's weird.
So I think that you don't really have anything to worry about there.
All right. I'm gonna go tell Echo because she'll be very excited that that's one less thing that we have to worry about. Tony, did you hear? I don't have werewolf. You're weird. Whatever. Or adopted. Maybe you're adopted. I'm kidding. You're not adopted. You're obviously part of the family. All right. All right. I'm sorry. I love you still. I just wish you wouldn't keep big secrets like this. Now we have to solve your problem of like, I can't deal with you being dead in 2 days. So, we're just going to have to prevent that because like emotionally, I've reached my maximum capacity to like deal with, like my soul might be owned by the Fae. I might have a soul. I'm a clone. There's a lot going on, you know, emotionally. I've got a lot. So, it would be best if you didn't die. For your own sake. Also, I don't want to explain that to Ma. Holy shit. No, absolutely not. I'll make the other Roxy do it if you die. So
You just heaves a big sigh.
I have enough going on. I don't need to deal with that. But you can't die because she'll kick your ass, you know? It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be a
perfect that way.
problem. Yeah. She'll bring you back, then she'll smack you and tell you to go to the gym and have a steak. See if you feel
Smack
better.
me with a steak.
Probably, yeah. Steak gorgonzola or something. It'll be delicious, but probably won't be great. All right. She just like musses up his hair.
Yeah.
Love you, bud.
Sylvie
Try
returns.
not to get bit by anything else while I'm gone, all right? There's plants. Pepe's in the elevator. If you don't tip him, he might bite. I'm not sure. We got him in the habit of that. We taught him socialism and capitalism on the same day. It's probably pretty confusing in the plant economy these days.
Internally,
anyways.
he's like, I'm surprised it didn't self-destruct.
So she's gonna go into the Cynthia's lab. She'll like just give a little knock so she doesn't like interrupt anything. I don't know. She's just trying to be more conscientious of her space because Cynthia's feeling a little overcrowded, I think.
That's one way to put it.
She's like, is this a fucking Airbnb?
Cynthia
That's not a thing in
strategically
the 50s,
hides
but
the blueprints for the new base.
bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
I'll
Does
build you
Cynthia have
one
plans
in
for
the
new base?
jungle.
Yes. Will you all ever hear about them? No.
No, absolutely not. She needs alone time. You're all getting to be too much in my like. Normally we're fine, but we need space sometimes. All right. Roxy doesn't because she's Italian, so there's always people in her house and space. She's used to it at this point.
I'm Italian and I'm a massive introvert.
Yeah, well, she's like a Brooklyn Italian, so it's different. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. Sorry to any Brooklyn Italians that I offend. We love your pizza. All right. Yeah. So, good news. I apparently can't become a werewolf, so we don't have to worry about that.
Let me describe what you see when you come in.
Yes.
So Sylvia, what the hell? No. Cynthia has a bunch of like tables in there. Usually they have half finished projects on them. She seems to have taken one of them over, and in the center of it has whatever the hell happened with we still have Tempest's gun, don't we? Because like Sylvie fucked it up.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Didn't
do.
it like
It's
spray
got, like,
fish or like
It's
flowers?
so the gun was super overpowered and did its job, but then I believe it like broke down afterwards, but you brought it with you.
Yeah.
So it's not
All
currently
right.
functioning, but you do have it.
I feel like we
Echoes-
got a second one too when we raided a base at some point. I don't
Possibly.
remember though.
We
Yeah.
got
You-
another one off of Tempest when we encountered her a second time, but then Joe handed that over to Sylvie with the intention of like, I can't solve this problem, you fix this.
I think you found an older version of
did
one. I don't know. You have one. That's all that matters.
That's in the center of the table, and Cynthia is partway through deconstructing it. And then on the side, you see like all sorts of like casings and like other things. And there's a small stash of silver that she's got because she's got small stashes of most elements that aren't like, uranium. So you never know. And looks like she's been trying to use some of those to make like grenades with like little silver pellets in like sort of a buckshot way. It's a shotgun, but but right now she's in the middle of she's in the guts of the gun deconstructing it. So she kind of, when she hears you come in, she just looks up and is like, what? Pulls her goggles off of her face. Say that
Oh.
again.
I don't have the markers, whatever. They did some science. If we were doing science in the kitchen, you'd be so proud. We're gonna go do more science. We're gonna get some colloidal silver and spray it on Joe or Tony.
You don't have markers?
I don't have markers for the werewolfy thing. So
Oh, that was an important part.
yeah, sorry. No, I'm sure we have markers somewhere in the base, but
I don't know if
yeah,
markers exist yet. Do they?
I'm not looking
Anyways.
this up. I'm just gonna say they do. I feel like they could. I don't know. Maria's gonna Google it for us right now.
Hell yeah.
1910. Felt tip
Shit.
marker pen was created and
Goddamn.
patented in 1910.
I
The
did a thing.
Sharpie was not patented until 1964.
All right, well,
But we do have felt tips.
markers.
we have felt tip markers, and so yeah, no, I don't have the DNA stuff.
She pretty much just stands up and hugs you, doesn't say anything.
Aw,
She's very happy that you're not going to get bitten, and she doesn't want to
Controller.
have to fight you.
well, yeah, I feel I don't know if I could fight it or not. I already got like weird brain stuff going. I don't need another thing in my head trying to take over my brain. So I'm happy too. And she's just gonna like take you to the side of the face and give you a kiss.
Yeah. Cynthia returns that.
Yeah. So that's one problem that we don't have to worry about. There's probably something weird with Tony. I hope he's not adopted because I might have made a joke about that already, and that's not funny if he's actually adopted.
Might also be because you're a clone.
Oh, true that. We should check the other rocks. Not like now. We have
Not
other
right now.
more important things, but we should check the other rocks. See, just
Put
you
that
know.
on the long-term goals.
Yeah, that's a
Chalkboard.
way later, like way late. That's like a curiosity, like, or just like she should probably know, like, and like if she wants to turn, maybe like outside
A
that.
later issue.
Yeah.
But I think you were saying something about limited ability to fight werewolves given how many of them there would be and how few of them and how few of you there are.
Yeah. There's only
have an
so
idea.
many of these. Are we gonna clone me again? Because I don't know how many Roxy's like Tony can really handle at this
No.
point. I feel like he's pretty stressed out with the whole tying in 2 days thing.
One of you is more than enough.
Aw, there's 2 of us, but yeah, no, I mean I'm your Roxy. So.
You're the one that I am dating, so you're the one I care
Yes.
about.
Yes. I mean the other one's pretty cool, but I don't know if she's whatever. She's not.
I have 2 thoughts. So
All right.
usually you like to fight with your fists, yeah?
Yeah,
Brass knuckles but silver. That's one idea.
I love this. That's a good idea because then I can just like,
If you feel like throwing things, I'm working on some grenades.
throwing stuff. We were gonna go test out like if colloidal, the liquid silver that they got at the pharmacy. I want to see if that works on werewolves because then we could like mace. I don't know, or like maybe you can come up with something cool to do with it, like a diffusing.
Well, I mean, if I didn't
Situation.
want to worry about killing people, I'd diffuse it into the air and just like spray the whole area to make sure they inhale it and kill a bunch of them at once. But I don't kill people.
Ah, crap.
So,
Will it kill? Well, we really shouldn't test it on them, huh? I don't really. We shouldn't
aerosols
really.
are risky for that reason because if it gets internal into their lungs and that can get to the nervous system, there's a bit of risk
Can we
with what
spray
I'm
the
proposing
alpha
as
in the
well.
face?
I think at this point, maybe.
I don't even know like is he a pet? Like is it a he? I don't even know. Like if
We have
like
no
what
idea.
gender the alpha identifies as.
Wolf gender.
I'm just gonna call it the alpha hole, if that's okay.
Go for it. But my thought with the grenades is that it creates explosive force. If the silver is inside, or if it's coated in silver, that can create kind of a shrapnel effect. The risk is that it gets inside somewhere important,
Yeah.
but it could be one thing to do.
Yeah, but that was the force, not. Well, I don't know. I'm really arguing semantics here. We're going up against a bunch of werewolves, and who knows what's gonna happen. Somebody might die. Hopefully Supermom is not mad at us if that happens. We will not intentionally kill anybody except for probably the alpha, because I don't think that the alpha is actually a person anymore. I'm not sure.
If it comes down to it.
I mean, like,
I don't
if
think
it,
she'll be upset.
yeah,
Well,
well,
she'll
and
be upset, but
well, it depends on if the body is like a giant werewolf or if it's turns into a human. Then we got bigger problems. Like, where are we gonna put
we'll
the
deal with it
body?
later.
All right. Well, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And hopefully it's not anybody important, because then it's even bigger problem.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out when we find out, I suppose. But
Yeah.
between now and then, I need to keep working on this. Points at the gun, and more of these will be ready eventually.
For moral purposes, if we find pixies that are fucking with my brother, can we kill them, or are they people? Like, I think I need a little more concrete.
What is a people is a complicated question.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, they are sentient, but like also like, are they like inherently evil? I don't know.
I think it comes down to the question of what makes you the moral arbiter of who deserves to live and die.
Oh, that's a good point. That was very, very helpful in my philosophical brain. I don't want to kill anybody or anything. I just, if it comes down to it, you know.
There's also the consideration that if we start killing, we become known as heroes who kill and perhaps not seen as
Vigilantes.
heroes anymore.
More not like anti-hero type thing,
Yeah,
where we're
but
just
that-
kind of like loose cannons.
I know some of them. It gets harder. You have more people against you. You can't work as well within a city or publicly. You have to be very, very good at protecting your identity because those
The
direct
cops
powers
will
that
get
be
you.
will come after you. And quite
Well, they're
frankly,
already
Rox,
gonna come after us anyways. Probably.
starting to kill people is more of a
Well, that will
definite
add.
sign.
You're right. That's adding fuel to the fire, and we don't need that. That's a PR disaster. We don't need today or tomorrow or anytime before we figure out whether this is going to go through. This whatever. Well, it did go through, didn't it? He announced it, and it went through.
I actually don't remember.
The registry
regist-
was announced, yeah, and then everyone has 30 days to register. So people who are found violating that after the 30-day mark, like actions, you don't know what actions specifically, but sounds like repercussions will happen.
I mean, they could come after us. That's a question any hero with a secret identity in the city is going to have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You either come forward and they know who you are, or you don't and they don't.
Well, I don't. It's going to be awkward if I can't come forward, because then the other Roxy will be in danger. I've got that's later problem. That's lower on my list because
You
we have more
might-
time. But like, maybe
you
she
might
could
be in one
provide
of
some sort
the-
of alibi, because if she's pictured somewhere and I'm also pictured there, then it would be like, oh, it's not that. But but then Calamity is going to be another target for another fucking shady organization that likes to do experiments on people.
We don't really have good answers.
Not
But
really. Let's focus on
Jill
the
had-
problems now.
some thoughts that might be useful if we survive the werewolf
Okay.
attack.
We also got. I should probably catch up with Rampage and ask her if she wants to come to the base. I'm sorry. I'm asking you first. I'm not going to invite you here if you're not comfortable. I'm asking you first. There's a lot of people in here already. I think our cover
Fine.
might be blown.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
We should start a bar in here for supers. Oh, that's a later thing that we can talk about. I'm sorry. We don't necessarily have to do it here. We can do it anywhere. Just yeah.
Rox, I have no interest in running a bar.
I think I'd be a really good bartender or bouncer.
I love you, and if you want funding to start a bar, it's yours. But I am not helping with the
Oh, you're
fiscal
so
stuff.
sweet and supportive. No, you don't have to. That's okay. Well, Uncle Paulie knows some construction guys. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a bunch of bodies hidden in like cement foundations around the city, I'm sure. Sorry.
Cynthia almost made a crack about that and then remembered that Roxy does not know.
I feel like me and you had like a hive mind moment where I was like, I'm gonna say what Bree's thinking out of character because
Oh my god.
you get my dark humor.
I was gonna say probably at this point, Cynthia, your communicator rings.
I need to take this.
All right.
She'll-
I'm gonna go call Rampage and yes and no to invite her here.
Yes, it's fine. If you can
Okay.
convince her. But
I
she's your
can.
responsibility. If she does something to fuck things up,
Yeah,
you're dealing-
I'll tackle her and hold it. Well, it'll probably be a little rustly, so I might throw her out the window.
you're
Just
on the
to-
ground.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Shit. Well, good thing the training room is pretty terrible. I try not to wreck anything in it, though. I'm being very mindful of that every time we train. So,
And I appreciate that.
well, I don't want you to have to fix stuff that I break because we had
Tell
a
you
rough
what,
few
When
months
I
after I
inevitably
first-
abandon this space because too many people know where it is, you can do what you want with it.
We might need to move to a different apartment too. Then, well, maybe not. I don't know. They don't really need to know that we live upstairs. We just won't go upstairs while all these people are here. Crap. We're gonna need new identities at some point. Whatever. This is later problems.
I have them.
You're so prepared. I
That is
appreciate
actually-
that.
That is
Eh.
actually one of the things she took with mentor resources. It's a set of fake identities, essentially.
I know. I actually was thinking in my head that's one of her contingency.
It is. Wait, let me say that. Yeah, false identities. That's one
Yep.
thing she took. So
I love it. I love it. Part of her anxiety contingency plans.
yes,
Which, as a human being, like Jenna can totally identify with, because there was a point in my life where I had contingency plan on top of contingency plan, and like that was how I lived my life. So absolutely, I feel a kinship with Cynthia for that. But Roxy does not have a plan for anything. Like
Yeah,
most of the
I
time,
know this
she's
about
just
her.
rolling by the seat of her pants. We don't
that's
think
not
things
right.
through. We just do.
Oh, hey. One sec.
He's so cute. I just adore him.
I love him, Your Honor.
Anyways, okay.
He's
Okay,
back.
ringing.
I will call
Aw.
Kevin. Kevin, he's so cute.
Good luck.
All right,
And she's
I'll call
gonna
Rampage and take the
call.
phone, and she just goes in the other room to call Rampage and check in about all that crime that she told Rampage she could do.
Mhm.
Whoops.
So Cynthia, when you take the call. Hi, Echo. It's Henry.
Hi.
I'm with Senior Supersonic.
Okay.
He is interested in helping.
Sorry. Just keeps crawling on the desk. Okay.
Seems very amenable to taking
Nope, do-
guidance and listening to orders. So I don't know if you want me to bring him? Like, are we gonna have a separate meeting location, or
Well,
I don't know what's happened since I've been gone.
a bunch of people invited a bunch of people to the base, so it's not really a secret anymore. Sure, why not?
Okay. Sure. I guess we'll be there. in a
I'm
bit.
sorry, I shouldn't have snapped. I'm glad it went well.
Right. I know this is a very high stress situation for everyone involved. I just wanted to. I know it's your space and your team, and wanted to clear it with you ahead of time.
I really, really appreciate you asking.
I would recommend having the team be in costume.
I was going to, but since you're suggesting it, I'll press extra hard on that.
Keep
Is
someone
there
on
anything I
standby.
should know?
Keep someone on standby for Joe.
So I didn't think he knew Senior Supersonic.
It's complicated.
Between this and hey, no, dude, no. So between this and the arrogance. Interesting.
I
Okay.
should also be able to intervene if necessary, but
I'd prefer if you didn't have to. Hey, that's mine.
I would also prefer that, but I'm hoping Joe will be open-minded considering the situation we're dealing with.
Should I tell him anything ahead of time? He doesn't, I don't think, deal well with surprises.
If you tell him who he is, do you think you would be able to convince him to allow Senior Supersonic to help? Because I imagine he will. I don't know, he might surprise me and not be extremely against it, but
I think he's going, if you think that whoever this is going to be a problem with Joe, I think that he's going to object either way. The problem is just, is there more fallout if he's told now and has some time to be grumpy about it, or you surprise him with it? I'm not one to say no to some good drama, but we might all be dead in the next few days.
yes. We're also on a, and yeah, we're on a time limit. Okay. How about if you pull him aside and I can explain the situation over the comm with you in the room?
All right. You could do that now, or you want to do this later?
We can do it now.
All right. Please hold. And she's going to head out into the main room and see if Joe's around.
Do you have any issues with me just like coming up with an idea of what this charm might be?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you had like certain things you think Joe would lean towards
I don't think he wants a tattoo.
That would certainly be Spuds' very like last suggestion. It would be on the bottom of the list because
Yeah.
he knows there's other ways to do it, and who knows if this even works. So that's really permanent for something that might not do anything.
Yeah. I think Joe would be amenable to like sort of a bangle situation almost. Like a ring that just sort of fits around his wrist.
I don't know if you'll understand this, but I'm imagining the bracelet that Apollo Justice wears in the Ace Attorney games. It's a gold bracelet and has like the carvings of eyes around it. So it doesn't have to be
Ooh.
that itself, but like that's
Okay.
what I'm picturing. And it's
Cool.
like it's big enough that it like sits around his upper forearm.
All right. Yeah, that works great. I feel like Joe's like fiddling with that a little bit, trying to like get used to it. Hey,
Hi, I need to borrow you for a second.
yeah, sure. Just so long as we're not lighting me on fire.
No. Physically.
Oh boy. Okay.
She's gonna bring him back into the lab.
Okay.
Henry's on the other line. She's been looking into something to help. And has given me the impression it's something you're not going to particularly enjoy. I'm going to stay here so you don't explode while you talk to her.
Okay.
Cynthia's fully, she did close the lab door behind her
Yeah.
because like people don't need to hear this.
Joe has an idea of what Henry's idea might have been, but we'll see
Um,
how that pans out.
well, Cynthia will hand over the comm. If there's a way to do speaker mode on comms.
I imagine it's like a radio, so I kind of
Oh,
figured
yeah,
it
that would,
always
Yeah.
had like a sort of
that
speaker
would track.
thing.
All right. In that case, she'll set that up. Hey.
Uh, hey, uh, Rivet.
I'm alone right now, so
Okay.
Henry's fine.
Yeah.
So this morning I asked Cynthia if I could help by recruiting some extra muscle. And I went to track down Senior Supersonic.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I thought you went to your mom. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's great.
But Senior Supersonic is Reyes.
Like Andy Reyes.
Yes.
How?
I'm not too clear on the details. Senior Supersonic, well, he only showed up on the field maybe a month ago. So if I had to hazard a guess, he only developed powers recently.
Of course.
He's willing to listen to Cynthia and follow direction.
That's a first.
He's actually quite a fan of the team.
Oh, no.
He doesn't know anyone's identities. I just didn't want you to attack him as soon as he walked through the door.
Boy, we really are desperate. Yeah, bring him in.
Okay. I mean, I was going to anyway, but.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome.
But I love you.
Do you actually say that over the comm?
And I feel like Joe rapidly like hangs up afterwards. Just
Oh
like, I
my
shouldn't have said
god.
that.
Okay.
I think after all this is said and done, I'm gonna figure out what my ancestors called it, firewater. And he just walks off.
Alrighty.
Cynthia will go out to the board that they have and will put a check mark next to Zoom Zoom.
Yes.
And also cross out turn Roxy into normal werewolf.
I think probably at this point, Sylvie returns.
I think Sylvie comes back and immediately walks towards the whiteboard to add the notes that she now has. And she, like, it's a singular focus. This is the most, like, non messing around. Like, she's not even, like, you've seen her mopey and debating, like, she doesn't even react to the fact that Cynthia's over there. She literally just starts writing down Leo's ideas for counters to the betas right by their names. And then as she says, my contact thinks that the alpha made a Fae pact.
Fuck.
Cool.
Okay.
That's so cool.
I feel like Roxy was about to ring Rampage and was like sitting next to her, with her, like her arm around her, like was like,
And I think
sorry, I need to call you back, Rampage. Okay, bye.
Sylvie that like finishes writing like all the information down, including like the counters and that Leo suggested, and says Leo is looking into preventing our pixie friend from further interfering.
Wait. Do you think the pixie was working for the alpha?
Potentially, we have no way of connecting them beyond the fact they're just two individuals.
Wait a second. Did they do that to...
That wouldn't track. I don't think anyway.
Unless
It's too wild, too random for the alpha. They're generally pretty calculated about this shit.
Really?
Unless they, for some reason, needed
It's
an
very
excuse
sophisticated
to
for
kill
werewolves.
Tony, but why would they make it cause an
That's the
excuse when
question.
they can just their world is
They
lost.
could just kill him. Yeah, you're right. Huh.
Sylvie,
Yes.
how do Fae pacts normally work?
There's something exchanged. So for power, you would have to give up something.
A
There's
soul?
a tie of some sort until the pact is fulfilled, if not longer. Binding both parties together. The Fae normally try and get the most out of the pact that they can.
Well, obviously, they like to get the best deal they can, you know.
It would have to be
So,
a power.
Fae,
From what I've heard of the alpha, it would have to be a powerful entity to give that amount of control and power.
What about if you hand over an entire cult of werewolves?
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of
That's
souls.
what I'm sitting here thinking. If like
Whoa, is
souls
there
are
a
thing,
is there a dual lean on your soul?
well, that's what I'm sitting here
No.
thinking. I think I dodged it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, because you
Tony,
did not get
you
to
do you
never-
have a lean on your soul?
Sorry, what?
Wow.
Two people were talking at once.
Sorry.
Jenna, what'd you say?
Tony, do you have a lean on your soul?
Not that I know of.
Same, but I don't know if you're supposed to feel different. All right. Let's stop
Sylvie,
talking about that, though. It's
Yes.
awkward.
you've said that Fey politics are a little contentious,
Yeah.
to put it mildly. Could it all be part of a broader scheme? Someone sends the pixie to affect the alpha to try and piss off the person who gave the alpha the power.
There could be at least as many as 3 known factions at play if you count the hunt now being involved. Or
Fair
one
enough.
faction could be working for the hunt. Or it could
Okay.
be just one giant game to all of them.
That's also fair.
Just a whole bunch of Fae fucking over people's lives. Cool.
Spuds, is it possible for you to help me analyze how to amplify my powers to potentially combat this? I was able to override a pixie, but
This
enough
is
of a
like
boost.
some Fae King
could
shit.
maybe get
300
by
pixies
us
in
a
a
couple
trench coat.
second
Mm-hmm.
or two, a moment where we could act.
Certainly, I have some ways to amplify amplify things. So I think that's certainly doable. Side note: when you said 3,000 pixies in a trench coat, I'm just imagining one of those drone simulations, but each pixie is one drone as part of the alpha.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
Goodness.
And the ones that are glowing are the eyes. There's just
Yeah.
like little pixie heads as the eyes. And they have a really cool hat.
Do you think this is why silver impacts the cult wolves?
Well, I
Is
thought it
that
was
a
Is
thing
Oh no,
for
isn't it not
Fae?
iron?
it's iron that does
Iron.
Fae. Like according to like the old legends of what I know this infamy.
Well,
The other Roxy must have had some sort
actually-
of interest in reading about that. I don't know.
Hang on. Russ. Yeah, hang on. He talked about the Alpha making a deal with
Who?
a
Oh.
god.
With
Oh
the
well, we're
God.
not very sneaky about this at all.
Oh no. Oh,
Do you happen to know
a
the
God.
name that this individual?
Saloon. I think.
Oh no. Is that's like the I think is that supposed to be that's like something about the moon, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a
moon's your
moon
eyes.
goddess.
Like a werewolf surprise.
I didn't really think anything of it because figured it was just like cult
Legend.
BS. But
I
I mean,
am suddenly very glad this did not occur to you when you met me in Hecate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, just a little
gosh.
bit.
Freak
Um,
witch and moon goddess,
what?
witch goddess. Okay.
Mm.
Anyways,
It's okay. We
why
will
do I
explain
know a
later
lot
when we no
about-
longer have a
Yeah.
cult.
After
Roxy's
all,
special interest may be just mythology. I'm
There
not
is
sure 'cause she
significance
knows too much about it.
for the record, I
Odin's
know the
daughter.
player, Joe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Over his head.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a
And we
himbo.
love that for him.
We
Any
love
of
that.
us.
I'm
We've
over
got
here
our-
theming all my names on moon stuff.
Yeah.
I love that for us all because I love the moon. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
But yeah,
But-
I didn't really think anything of it up until now. But I mean, are there any Fae that are like moon powered?
moon phase, moon pixies, moon sprites.
Am I familiar
Moon
with any right off the bat, Charlie?
fairies?
I don't think so. I think there's like a variety. the different types of fae who are fueled by the moon in some aspects, or like theme themselves around it, but there's not one. There's not a single
And
faction.
there are no prominent factions, but that doesn't mean someone didn't get pretentious or work beneath the knowledge of the faction that I worked for, nor have I been the most active for a few hundred years. Things change.
Fair
right.
enough. But I'm wondering if maybe that could be a starting point for you and Spuds, because, like, it's supposed to be specifically moon magic, at least as far as the alpha tells it, that gives us all the powers and such. So if there's some, like, line of truth to that, I don't know, maybe you guys can track that somehow?
Either that or, can try and check, see if I can see any type of tethers, Spuds, that might be. If I have a magical sight ability, are you able to potentially share in my sight?
Possibly that'll get a little bit tricky.
I figured, but
We could give it a shot.
potential to try and track the tethers that are the alpha's power. And maybe, if we're lucky enough, track it back to something else.
Oh, geez. And I think Joe would look over at Elena. You've got, like, space powers, right?
Yeah, but
It's the
there's
same
more
thing.
to space than the moon.
I mean, it's a pretty big part of it if you look at the sky.
Honey.
Oh no!
We will explain that after the cult as well. There's a lot going on up there.
We
Just
need
want
to
to say I
talk
love how
about
dumb you made Joe in
physics.
some
I love Joe so much.
Joe
I
is
do
a fun
too.
character because he's very
Right.
knowledgeable about some things, and then the rest is just like
He
valley.
just hears white noise. Like him and Roxy, when they start talking about like physics and science, it's like white noise in their
Yep.
ears. They're like, uh-huh.
Just like, yep,
Okay.
science. Science.
Science is a thing.
Roxy understands a little physics because like cars involve like there's some
Combustion
stuff.
and
Yeah,
science.
like she understands some stuff, but like some of it she's just like ah.
Yeah, Joe's just like, oh gosh, it's moon magic. He's got a space person.
It's
No.
moon magic and space people, and that one makes plants that eat things.
Oh my god.
Possibly whatever. And then you know,
This is fun.
werewolf
Space
and
is
a clone.
just very large.
walk
I
into
don't
a
think
bar.
the two are connected.
Easy living, speaking of your power set,
Mhm.
though. How has your finer control been going?
Pretty well. I was practicing with book turnings, little things that are better, getting better. I can feed Echo's ice cream. That worked out pretty well.
That did work out pretty well.
That. That's adorable. Oh my gosh. I just love you guys all so much. All right.
Is it,
I'm tempted to make a
Charlie, above the table, is it phase or is it phantom? I'm looking at my notes and I'm having trouble finding it. The one that can phase through things.
phantom.
Are you talking about the beta?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
beta.
phase.
Beta Spectre is the name.
Spectre.
Oh,
thank you.
Spectre.
I was like, I don't think it's phase.
It does say phasing, but it says Spectre next to it,
Yeah.
so you are correct. Damn.
Depending
That was what
on
was used to describe
how
the power set was phasing.
Yeah.
He goes by Beta Spectre.
fine your control is, you could potentially alter the ability of Spectre to phase through objects and
Wow.
pose a potential means of countering.
Like make them or the object more or less dense.
Yeah,
Yes.
like his molecules. Oh my god.
I mean, that's basically all I really do, I guess, when you think about it.
That's like power science. All right. I need to stop thinking about this though, because I'm starting to get a headache. All right.
You and me
Anyhow.
both. I
Yeah.
think Joe turns to Cynthia. This makes sense to you, right?
I guess for now,
Okay.
I guess I can try and put the innocuous things through other innocuous things.
Or perhaps, is it possible for you with an object to change various parts of it to be more dense than others? Could alter phasing if you have two different densities that you're trying to phase through at once within the same body.
We can
And he's
try.
probably only used to using his normal density in mass.
Mhm. I mean, the worst case, it doesn't work, and we have to find something else. But yeah, we can try.
I mean, in theory, this guy could phase through anything, yeah?
Yeah, like people? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean,
That's a weird
might be like a little
thought.
brutal, but like
It's a little creepy actually, because like you should probably ask to be before you just like go inside somebody like
but
that.
I mean, like, if he turns it on, why not just make him really heavy? He'd just go through the ground, right?
Oh, wait.
It would depend, because like when I make Roxy or Calamity or you heavy, it's like resistance training almost.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We
Could
do
be
that a lot so that I
dependent.
don't fly into the wall
Mhm.
and crack the base.
If he's expecting to like run and he cannot move, then he probably wouldn't activate his powers until he
It
collides
also
with the thing.
depends if his power set has any inherent safety features locked to it.
What if you made him
Quite
very heavy when he was in the
possible.
middle of like a wall? Would that
I
make him
mean,
part of the wall?
The power set
That might trip him up.
eliminates that the ability to phase through the Earth's crust or something along those
What
lines.
if we just sneak up on that one and get a bracelet around him before he can do that?
Good luck.
I don't think. Also, we don't
Have
even know if
we-
the bracelets
have we
work on.
Oh, have we tried the bracelet
No, we
on
haven't
Joe
tried
or
it.
Tony?
It's worth a
Yeah,
shot.
our experiment subjects
Have
today.
we tried those bracelets
On
on anyone
Sylvie.
who's even magic?
I don't think Sylvie hasn't worn the bracelets. I don't know if we
No, they
put
work
it
on me, but I'm
Oh, we might
I'm
want
not.
no.
It's not the same.
You're
You
not.
might
Yeah.
not want the bracelets on Sylvie, no.
No, we don't
Might
want the
break a
bracelet.
bracelet.
That's a weird effect.
Who knows what this
Well,
bracelet was supposed to do?
We also suit up. We have a guest coming. And
Oh,
Joe,
yeah.
I can smack a bracelet on you if you want to try this before said guest arrives.
I already have my
Yeah.
costume on because we've decided that I just wear my costume until
Good job.
we figure out the I mean now I have multiple. I had to call Natalie and have Bertram rush over some extras, you know, because it's just
At some
You
you
point,
gotta
Elena
wash them, you know.
did
I was
make a
gonna say
call.
something. It was a little rough.
What? Are you gonna say I smell? I swear to God, I'll punch you right in your snoot.
I'm sorry. It's hard for me to miss it.
Well, Sylvie's
I
gonna
changed
go
and I
change,
showered today.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
because she's been in civvies
Yuck, Joe. You
for
smell
all of
like
the things.
garbage when you work out too. You smell
Uh,
like what dog?
At some point, Elena called
That smells
the
good.
estate to have extra of her uniforms shipped over, sequinless one for Joe shipped over. Any silver that Natalie is willing to part with, she will probably never get it back. And if Bertram could pick up some colloidal silver and drop off some food,
Groceries.
that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Upstairs and then send it downstairs with the plants. And she left very
Yes.
specific plant instructions. You
Send-
have to
send-
tip them.
Was it Pedro or what was I
Pepe.
named? Did I
Pepe.
Pablo?
Pepe.
Pepe. I named him Pepe and I forgot. See, I need to write the plants.
I have
here
very
down. It's very
specific
important.
instructions. Within the next hour, we should have extra things.
I love that you're like Bertram's just not going to question giving sentient plants stuff
No.
to bring
I was gonna
them.
have her
No.
go out and do all of this, but then I'm like, there's like a lot
Amazing.
happening. I was just,
Yeah.
it's easier just to make a phone call when you're ridiculously wealthy.
Okay.
Shop's rich.
All right. Well, okay. So since we're waiting on that testing stuff, then for the silver, whoever's free, y'all want to join me in the training room, and we can start working on maybe some like combo ideas I had. Like give us a leg up.
Do you need me, or I'm going to try to put things into other things?
Oh yeah. I guess we can also do it at the same time, though preferably not with each other.
I need to make a call or two first, but I can join you after.
Okay.
I also
Sylvie will join you after, depending on how well stuff goes with Spuds.
Uh,
She really wants that, or have that power boost for potentially either the pheromones or buying a couple extra seconds for you guys if the alpha decides to.
I'll get
Whammy.
things set up in the gym. You guys just join when you can.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we'll say probably as people get into their various phone calls and training happens, that's when Henry arrives with Senior Supersonic. In costume. Henry would probably get the gist of like what's going on. From someone who I imagine would be around the main room. And would yeah, she'd probably walk Supersonic down to the training room where Watchdog is getting things set up. And I imagine like all of the other werewolves are in there too, like Eugene's in there, Tony's in there, just like helping organize this stuff and like spitball ideas. So you're not alone. But she does come in and is very like Henry is very good at like mediating, being like introducing Senior Supersonic and everyone else and being like this is power set and just trying to keep things cordial.
Joe is just ears folded back, like working on like a high bar setup, just silently fuming.
Yeah.
Because of course it's him.
Yeah. And now that he's in here and you smell him again, it's just like everything clicks into place. That first encounter you had with him, you're just like, oh shit. And I think probably what makes it all worse is that Ray is just so like nice to everyone.
Oh my god!
Even you, he's just like, hi,
In
so nice to
awe.
meet you. Oh my god, big fan.
I fist bump him and like, hey, good looking out, Senior Supersonic.
My God.
It's so
Hello,
cool to
Hey
hang out
Calamity.
again.
Yeah, we still need to catch that. Go have that drink.
Yeah. I mean, we could have a drink here, but we're planning right. I mean, we could we're not doing this until tomorrow. I actually can't get drunk. I don't know if you know that, but
Don't
it's a
drink
whole
the
thing.
blue shit.
Also, don't drink the blue stuff.
If a plant offers you something, politely take it, but do not ingest.
Yeah, well, make a Valkyrie look at it first. Make sure
Yeah,
that
we
it
don't know
won't
what's
make
going
you
to happen. They
have
kind
some
of
sort of hallucinogenic.
have a mind of their own now.
Yeah. The coffee they made was really good though. Big fan. It
I can
tasted
still
like
taste
strawberries. Yeah. Anyways,
I imagine like while that's all going on and Joe, you're getting some like equipment set up. There is like I imagine you're just taking like as much as you would love to probably block out all of the conversation that's happening, you can't help but listen to it.
Yeah.
There's a voice behind you that says it's a little crooked.
Thanks. Fixes it. Turns around.
It's Henry.
Hey. I feel like Joe scratches the back of his head a little bit and then goes over to like a pad of paper that he's fished out. It's kind of last second, but I had some ideas for maybe some stuff you could do with the team. Uh, maybe get started on that. I sort of like sets it down. I'm sorry about earlier. I'm not just gonna roll over, okay?
Good.
Okay. Uh, this might seem like a stupid question. Do you know where my mask ended up? Not the bandana one, the coyote.
I grabbed it when I got the recording. It's with my stuff in the room I've been staying in.
Okay. Maybe get that over to Valkyrie and Spuds. I think they might be able to check it out.
Sure.
I guess you might not have a choice, but I assume you're gonna be with us when everything goes down.
I was planning on it.
Okay. Okay. In that case, we should probably make sure you're good with the basics. Yeah? Just not really super field tested yet.
Yeah, let me go take care of the mask and we can get down to business.
Okay.
She'll head out of the room. Be gone for a few minutes while I assume you wrap up some other stuff.
Yeah. Just silently mumbling to himself about how he should have handled that better, and he's a dumbass, and just, God damn it, I can't do this right.
Eugene comes up behind you and places a hand on your shoulder and says, "It'll be okay."
We live through tomorrow.
We will. There's a lot of good people here.
And they're all here because of me. One way or another.
And they're all here because they want to help you.
I still feel like I can barely help you guys.
Don't be so sure. You're already thinking up possible strategies, right?
I'm trying. Don't exactly have the experience. It sort of glances at Speedy that Echo has at this, but you know, not stranger to working with a team. Just different kind of team.
Different kind of team, but you've been doing it a while, right? Some of
At
what
this point,
Echo's done has been bound to rub off.
I can hope. I don't know what's gonna happen from here on out, Dad, but you stay safe, okay?
He pats your shoulder. You too, kid.
Joe hugs him.
Squeeze your back. And he sort of mumbles. I've already been through one more. Self probably don't know shit.
Here's hoping.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they definitely wanted to play out?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, first thing's not played out, but the other things are. First thing, she calls Sarah and just is like, hey, I need you to get here. We're gonna fight some werewolves to the death. If that sounds like a time.
I think she's just very, like, sort of morosely over the comments, just like, okay.
Cynthia's quietly hoping that beating up some werewolves will cheer her up. And then the second call she's making is to Hecate.
Okay.
And she is making this in her lab. She closes, locks the door. No one is coming in here unless they force it.
Okay.
She calls.
Hecate here.
Echo. The werewolf cult situation's coming to a head. I'm sure you saw what happened on the news.
Indeed. It was hard to miss. Along with the very boisterous support for heroes.
It's a nice change. But they're coming after him, and by extension, us. All of them, from what I understand, several hundred. And I could use advice. She gives her a rundown of the weaknesses of the werewolves, what she has on hand, the people they have to work with, and I'm very much going for fireside chat because Echo's feeling a little lost.
Yeah. Sounds like you've got a good range of initial gadgets to use against them.
I do think I need to roll for this.
Isn't it only... Do you? I thought it was only if you take their advice.
One sec. When you seek advice from your mentor, roll plus the label they embody. On hit, they will tell you what to do on a 10 plus mark potential if you follow their advice, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Okay. I remember how to play this game.
I don't. All right.
No, I don't know shit.
With my superior of +3, that is a 13.
Ooh, hey,
Thank you, Jenna's
okay.
dice.
All right.
I did not curse anybody's dice. Everybody feel safe in that.
Well, sounds like you have a good array of initial gadgets to use against them.
Fair
Yeah.
amount. And there's
Maybe-
time to make more, but not that much time.
You have a good understanding of their initial weaknesses. That's one of the biggest hurdles you'd have to deal with, as long as you have some idea of where to hit where it hurts. You can organize team strategy around those weak spots.
All right.
Considering the pack has some relations to the Fae, or some pact with the Fae, is influenced by their magic. I think your best bet for making the whole structure crumble is going to be utilizing Valkyrie in neutralizing whatever Fae magic, Fae influence they have.
Okay.
You've recruited someone skilled in magic. I
We
think
have.
that's an excellent tool to have in your arsenal.
All right.
You're also going against large numbers. Sounds like a good portion of them may not want to be there.
Correct.
You have anyone who's excellent at persuading people. Maybe a way to get them to leave the fight without much fuss. It wouldn't be.
I have a couple of thoughts that are very contradictory.
Oh.
Roxy's normally who I go to when I want to convince people to do something. But I'm not sure it's the right energy for this situation.
When you were giving Hecate the rundown, did you tell her about everything Joe told you during your session earlier with like the memories of his experience turning into a werewolf and the initiation? Did you tell her all that?
She'd already heard the tape, so I think probably not any of the emotions behind it or anything that
But
would have
just
been
like a rundown of events.
yeah, nothing like deeply, deeply personal beyond the fact that these are horrifying things that happened to him.
Yeah. I think you may think this to be a little counterintuitive. I think Watchdog would be the best person in this case.
Whoever the alpha and beta, whoever the alpha is, he scares them. So he was able to figure out how to do things without the alpha's gift.
He's proven
They
that
all
he
saw
has-
that.
He's proven that he has control. And he's shown that he's able to stand on his own and be his own person, which can be very inspiring to people who have been strong-armed into an organization they don't believe in, they don't support, they don't want to fight for. Could either be a way to convince them to leave entirely, or if any of them feel incredibly like the situation's been incredibly unjust and want to do something about it, they may join you in the fight. Now, that second option does pose a little bit of a risk if they're untrained and unskilled. But
True.
it could add additional. The extra bodies could add additional pressure.
In theory, the Alpha has the ability to control everybody at once. Any thoughts?
In theory, I think it only appears that way because there's not been anyone to counter it.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
The way organizations like this stick around and people maintain power is because they've used other psychological tactics to prevent anyone from outwardly opposing them. One individual might not be strong enough, but if you get an army, you can usually take down a single person. If you've been broken enough to be too scared to form an army or speak out, then you're never going to win.
Suppose we are dealing with a cult after all. One with forced induction.
That, by its very nature, is going to cause dissent.
We can use that.
You might
Okay.
not be able to psychologically attack the leader or use taunts and barbs to get them to slip up, but other
We can
people are
whittle down the
much-
forces we're fighting.
Exactly. Other people are much more impressionable,
Take some pieces off the board.
especially if you have a large, superpowered force that is coming in guns blazing.
That we do. Okay. Thank you. And with any luck, I'll see you in a day or two.
I think there's just a long little bit of silence before she signs off.
Echo out. All right, so Echo has the planning she wants to do for the next day. The last thing she had to play out was she was going to actually talk to Sylvie.
Okay.
That's probably going to be a conversation. So if you want to switch to other people first, also valid.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to do?
I was gonna say, I just was wondering if you wanted roles from Sylvie regarding how successful the power amplification is.
I think it is, in that instance, like being in a controlled environment, I think you have some natural success. I think the roles for that are going to be most interesting in the heat of battle.
In the heat of battle, okay.
So
I wasn't sure if you wanted to even see if it was gonna work, but
no,
Okay.
I don't think I need to. We need to decide that right now.
okay.
I don't think we need to eliminate the
No.
possibility that it could happen. So just
I'm okay with that.
make a World War Werewolf more interesting.
Fine.
Do I need to do any rules for putting things through things?
No, I think in a similar vein, we'll just see
We'll
the
just see what happens.
We're
Okay.
saving the mystery for World War
Yeah.
World War Werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You managed to
fine.
like successfully get like a glass to stick to a wall.
That was like
I
the
mean,
worst tongue twister. Say that
worst-
10 times fast. Werewolf.
Worst case
werewolf,
scenario,
blah, blah,
I
blah.
accidentally fuse Senor Supersonic and watchdog. That would be terrible.
Oh my god!
They would have to learn how to get along.
I
They
love
become
that
terrible.
it's those two. I love
This
that
is
it's
our
those-
get along spine.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's just Spectre, like, is the glue that holds them together.
Oh,
It's amazing.
God, it's like a Cerberus
worst.
nightmare. Ugh.
Yes.
But
Oh.
Cynthia can track down.
And now Henry has her own polycule.
I don't think she
Oh
wanted that.
no!
That's the last thing she wanted.
Ooh.
Oh. And they're always
Jenna,
fighting.
what the hell?
That is the correct reaction.
Look, my brain is a weird place. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
I don't think that's the polycule Henry deserves.
No,
No.
absolutely
This
not.
molecule
Rub
anyone
them and
deserves.
join ours, honey. At that
The
point,
fly,
she
but way
Joe
more
joined.
worse.
Joe and all of them, and Joe's like, "Just leave me alone." And then we're
Ugh.
like, "We're gonna take. We really like your girl. I'm sorry, Joe. She's so cool and so smart."
Anyway,
No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Cynthia and Sylvie.
Cynthia specifically wants to have this conversation alone.
Yeah, Sylvie will nod to Spuds and send him away, thanking him for helping her develop what they can prior to this.
Anytime. And then he'll probably go join the training efforts with everyone else.
I think Sylvie will look to Cynthia and say, "Where do you want to have this conversation? We have several individuals with enhanced hearing."
You hear in your head, we can have it in here.
Yeah, Sylvia will respond with, "Okay."
And Cynthia's going to go over and she kind of just sits cross-legged on the couch, sweeps her cape behind her because she has been in full costume this whole
Yeah.
time. And waits for you
Sylvie
to
will
determine where you're
perch
going to stand or
on
sit.
a seat across from her, basically, and maintain eye contact, knowing just how serious this is probably going to be.
We might all be dead tomorrow. I need you to tell me what that means in light of this deal.
In light of this deal, if I can't prevent it in my last moments, if we should all perish, it means you will go with your soul, will go to the Fae, and they've given me their word that you will select where you fall and what you are given. However, in light of my own recent discoveries, you might not have all your working knowledge of your previous life to help make that decision.
What have you discovered?
Remnants of my last life, remnants of when I was human, remnants that I had no access to prior to our jaunt in a previous, in the other dimension.
Sorry.
Something rattled those loose.
You say in your last moments. What happens to you?
Probably nothing good. I made a choice long before I made that deal. I chose you, humanity, over my people. And the way that plays out is I made a choice that burdened my soul. I don't know what happens when I make the final decision to fight for that choice.
Is there any version of this situation in which we get to stay together?
Perhaps.
All of us.
I don't have an exact timeline on what I've decided and what that burden means. Nor do I know if it's capable of being healed if I pick one side over another. It's not as if I get straight answers when I inquire.
So, in essence, there's a price, and you're going to be the one to pay it. And you don't know what it is.
I intend to be the one to pay it. Worst case scenario, it's a finality. It's an end, but it's also potentially something I can survive.
Risky.
We Fae are malleable things. We always have been.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I think, if anything, the strength of the bonds with you and with this team may be my saving grace. But a lot of this is dependent on what exactly defying my word means here. And if there are enough loopholes to fight.
Okay. And Cynthia will reach somewhere into her utility belt and other storage areas. She pulls out the brooch, puts it back on. Well, you originally gave her like a little talisman thing.
Yeah, I didn't remember if it was a brooch or what it was exactly.
Yeah,
So-
she pulls that out, puts it back on. She has not been wearing it lately.
I think Sylvie does give a small smile at that. It's very melancholy and bittersweet, but she does appreciate. And I think she says, I fully intend for you all to get out of this.
I know you do. But if we die tomorrow, I don't intend to die with burdens. So, I forgive you. And I love you. And I'm sorry.
I love you. And I'm sorry I was so scared of losing you that I didn't fully think through my choices.
I know. If we do all survive this, I would like, if you ever do run across a situation like that again, I'd like us to talk about it.
If we all survive this, I highly doubt I will be running into any Fae again in the future.
There are
But
many
I
choices
will
that would
give you that promise
Really?
with all of myself.
Then I'll cherish it. Thank you. Should probably join the others.
Probably figure out the best battle plan we can.
I spoke with Hecate and she gave me some ideas. So, do you have any thoughts on voice amplification and how it could be done?
There's probably a few power sets that would allow for sound wave modification and amplification. If you can hide, like Blindside can, and hide sound and scent, why can't you? There are also ways to amplify
It's true.
natural.
Well,
Not necessarily that Blindside is our foe, more so that one power set could relate to another.
we can get creative with it. It's not the only solution, but something that she said to me.
Also,
Joe's got some
potentially-
potential.
I was going to say, we could also potentially find a way to amplify magically certain sound waves so they carry louder than
Sure.
others.
Whatever we end up deciding to do, we're likely going to be using it on Joe. And convincing him that he is the key to this.
Understood. I fully intended to stay focused on him for most of this upcoming fight as well,
All right.
because I was under the same impression that he might be our firmest chance against the Alpha itself. And if that's the case, he'll need time to fight against that mental barrier.
True. The Alpha itself, and also possibly scaring off some of the lower rank and file. Well,
Ideally.
that's a longer conversation to have with him, though.
Yes.
And she'll stand up, and if you are willing to allow it, she will give you a hug.
Sylvie will accept it, and I think for a second she's hesitant, and then she does squeeze you tight and whispers thank you in return for the hug.
I know you already will, but do your best not to die.
I'll try.
I appreciate that.
A little durable, so
You're just a little.
just a little bit.
All right.
Plus, I mean, we potentially will be in a forest. There's a lot of
Didn't think about
vitality
that.
I can draw from
That's true.
for all
There's
of
some
us.
interesting experiments we could run with that at some point. Not right now, of course, but
I'll do what I have to keep us alive, though.
all right. Then let's go.
I think Sylvie will follow.
Okay. Just while that conversation was happening, I think we could get a little sort of summary of what's going on in the training room.
All right.
Everyone is working through some potential training options. The werewolves are very into it. All of them shift into their wolf forms, so we have 4 like larger wolves running around in here. I will say that anyone who is sort of paying attention to Eugene's friends would notice that while Alex was very like reserved and quiet as a human, they have a very big personality as a werewolf. So very like up and in it, and like Hank, Alex, and Sandy have a really good dynamic that Eugene fits in with, and they're welcoming for everyone else too. And just like pulling off cool trick moves and like helping set other people up for really sweet like flips and shit.
I feel like Joe found a whistle at some point and is like accidentally fully switched into like coach mode through all of this.
I feel like once Roxy gets off the comm with Rampage, which maybe we should play at some point, but it doesn't have to be. We can push it to the next. But I feel like she grabs it away from Joe and is like, stop that shit. She went to enough practices with him that it annoys her when he gets all clipboardy and like, stop it.
I mean, I think you were just gonna ask Rampage if she wanted to help, right?
Well, I also wanted to find out like what kind of crime she's committing so that I can warn Cynthia, because I do believe in transparency. All right, cool.
Nothing major yet. We'll just say that.
Oh, right.
Vandalism.
Planning to break into Rook Labs, but
I love it. Do you want to come to the base and help us fight a whole bunch of werewolves? Also, if Tempest is cooled down, I doubt she's chilled out yet, but
yeah, that's a hard no on the Tempest front, but Rampage is very down to come fuck shit up.
yeah,
so.
let's go punch werewolves. Come on.
She'll
There's a
come
big
around.
one. It's like 70 feet tall. I bet you and me could lift it together.
Yeah, she'll give you like an ETA when she's gonna get there.
Cool.
I think also probably maybe a little unexpected. Henry, very acrobatic.
I've been working on my acrobats too, but I'm not as good as Henry. I'm not as graceful.
Yeah, she is just like
killing it.
Grabbing a high bar, do it like some serious like parkour shit, like running up walls, doing backflips.
Get it, girl.
Very into it.
She just like leans over to Joe. I totally see what you see in her.
Mhm.
That's totally hot.
Joe does not say as such, but
I get it.
I think so too.
Roxy's trying, but it's way more clumsy. Like she's not quite landing it as gracefully. Like, you know.
I feel like at one point you just like go through like one of those vaulting horses as opposed to over it.
And it's just wrecked, and she's like, oops, I'll fix that later, and just like puts it off to the side. This shit happens all the time.
But yeah, that's kind of what's going on down there.
Yeah.
What I will leave you with. As Echo and Valkyrie get up to go join the rest of the team, there's a knock on the door. And
Is it the plants?
what you don't immediately know, but what the audience knows is that standing behind that door is Roscoe.
Fucker. Just invite anybody to this.
I'm building a new base. And you're not invited.
I'm gonna have to
Whole
put
base
another
up when
call
she's
into
done.
Natalie and see if she can
Fuckers.
buy us a new base. Not gonna tell
Cynthia's
anybody
birthday.
besides Echo.
So
To be fair, Elena
probably just
has
leave
not
this
invited
one.
anyone to this fucking base.
Oh,
So
she'll,
that's
I mean,
allowed.
if Natalie buys it, she will know where it is, but she's just not gonna tell anybody
To
else other
fair,
than Echo.
Roxy did ask first before she invited anybody.
That's true.
She's trying to be very considerate. She knows that Echo's really annoyed still though. Like she can tell. She's like,
Elena's has invited
gonna have
not
to do
Tex,
nice things for her.
Spuds.
Spud's
Awesome.
back, but he was
Uh,
here before.
Oh, so true.
I don't
think it's
know
all
if
more that,
Sylvie has actually invited anyone back to the base.
Nope, I think Sylvie's actually off the except for
No,
the plants.
instead
Sylvie
you're
put a
guess-
portal in the apartment.
That is true.
That
That's
is-
a-
that
That's
is-
different. That's in the
That's kind
apartment.
of
That's not in the
what
base.
started the mad, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's more Cynthia is chafing a little at her sense of security being taken away.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have
Yeah.
anywhere where she feels safe.
And like
fair.
you need alone
That's fair.
time too, as like I mean I don't know for a fact that Cynthia's an introvert, but I get that she's a
She's an
little bit of an
introvert. She's
introvert.
a massive
Yeah.
Introvert.
Roxy's like the huge extrovert, and I think probably Sylvie's
Yes.
a little extrovert. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the
I think
extroverts.
It's not that as much. It's like she was fine when it was just the team and the base, but it's like having so many people she doesn't really know or
She
trust
hasn't had the
in her
chance to
space
vet
is
half of these
Mhm.
people. So
Also,
Yeah.
constant crisis mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm,
yeah.
My
but
fight or flight has gone crazy.
end of session questions. What happened tonight?
Ugh.
What didn't happen tonight?
And you wouldn't like. I was planning on growing closer to Tex, but no, or not Tex.
Aw.
mm.
Because we trained, but no. So I'll go first. Sylvie definitely grew closer to the team, specifically Cynthia, because she was not expecting that in any way, shape, or form. Nor was she expecting to basically tell Cynthia that she's pretty sure she's gonna die. So it's fine.
Yeah, Cynthia does have influence over you.
apologies in advance if this leads to a condition.
Go for it.
Mundane down, savior up.
I do believe that leads to a condition, which you're fine.
Okay. Do you have any conditions marked?
Insecure.
Okay. Guilty?
Oh yeah, that totally fits. We're okay.
For what it's worth, the rationale is that she has a better understanding of what Sylvie did and why she did it and why it was to save them.
Fair.
Well, sticking with that trend, the same thing in reverse. Echo is growing closer to team, specifically Sylvie, because she opened up with her a little bit, and Echo appreciated the honesty.
I'm going to do something similar, so I apologize again if this is a condition. Savior up and danger down, specifically because I feel like Cynthia has, more so on a personal level, become like given Sylvia a little more hope, and she doesn't feel like she's totally destroyed her relationship with her girlfriend. So
That does in fact give me a condition.
it's fine. We're being fair to each other.
Conditions for everyone.
Do you have any conditions?
This is reciprocity
yes.
at its best.
Cynthia is currently angry and guilty.
Ooh.
Oh. Same these
Uh,
actually. We're conditioned twins.
Afraid?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's valid. Valid.
God, I almost I know it doesn't work that way in terms of the mechanics. I mean, I actually could make that argument, I guess. Okay, this probably doesn't work, but for clearing guilty, you have to make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt, and I don't think that counts as a sacrifice, but Cynthia was holding on really hard to not forgiving her,
Yes.
so I don't know if that would work.
Let me think on that. I'll get back to you.
That's fair. The additional point of rationale I would make would be that Cynthia was trying to relieve herself of her burdens through that. Because they're gonna die tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Makes
Let me know what you
rethink
decide,
something,
and I'll
yeah.
figure it out after.
On the bright side, Roxy's not going to become a werewolf drone.
That is true.
That is true.
True.
Roxy's like silver linings all around. Mostly because of the werewolves, but you know. Love
And
that.
I'm taking potential. Oh, wait, no. Since I grew closer, I'm gonna clear a condition. Fuck
Okay. Yeah.
it. As I figure out which one it's gonna be. Move on.
Just remember that I cannot be afraid.
It's just got that one. I think got angry or guilty though. I think probably clearing guilty because that's the rationale. She's trying to
Yeah.
unburden herself.
Makes sense.
I forgot that you could do that. We've been playing this game for a very long time.
Yep.
And we don't know how to play it still. It's
That's why
amazing.
you have me.
We
I
had,
know.
like,
Crow's
a
the only one
2-week
that knows
break.
how to play.
So.
We just make it up as we go. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing a lot of funky things for the fight mechanics. for the
Yeah.
werewolves.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Not surprised. I think I'll go next here because I think mine is obvious as well. Joe is going to grow closer, specifically to Cynthia. Was
Aww.
very open and very honest with Cynthia this time around. And is just like silently hoping that you can make it so that we're not all dead by tomorrow.
Well, you know.
And for the record, in regards to Blindside, he has not at all thought about the fact that he's basically welcomed an enemy leader to the base.
That's
That
gonna
was
be
a-
very fun to deal with next time.
That was a Roxy move
Well,
if I ever
actually-
saw one.
Next time we're jumping into things. So
Oh yeah.
feel
Like
free to roleplay that reveal in our
remember
private
when everybody
chats.
was mad at Roxy for
oh,
bringing
lovely.
Rampage to the shop? This is
It's
the
just
same
gonna be
thing, but
all
worse.
caps in Crow's DMs. It's like, what the fuck were you thinking?
I love this.
Eh.
Our precious himbo.
Yeah, but Cynthia does have influence over Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Once more, apologies in advance if this leads to a condition. We're going to go freak down, savior up.
I'm sorry, what down?
Freak down, savior up.
That can actually happen for me.
Ooh.
It's like just barely fitting in there.
She's, I think, gotten a greater understanding of where Joe's coming from and what he's experienced. And once she understands something, it's a little less alien to her.
Fair
And
enough.
she does think he has the potential to turn the tide here. She's hoping he follows through on that.
He's convinced he is a liability.
We're gonna fight about your self-worth.
We
Yeah.
will join in this fight.
The epic battle for Joe's self-worth. It's Joe against everybody else
And himself.
and himself. Also, Tony probably needs a battle for his self-worth too. So let's just
I still don't entirely know what's going on with him.
he's
Yeah.
feeling hella guilty and like a stupid idiot and probably powerless and
Tony is also gonna need like
afraid and
a jolt of healing before we go into this whole
probably
thing.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Cynthia has an idea of why he is what he is.
Oh, and I will be taking potential. Just letting you know here, Charlie, that if/when I miss a move and get potential next game, I will be taking that move we discussed.
Interesting.
Things are going to happen.
Oh.
I think Roxy grew closer to well, I'm kind of like, was it Lunar Ultima or was it Tony? Probably Tony. Just because they're kind of like, I mean, she kind of established she's not really mad. They're probably gonna have to have a more like in-depth talk. She's also probably gonna have to like talk to Joe about maybe she should have empathized a little more with him about the difficult position Tony put him in, but whatever. She's feeling a little closer to Tony, but she's all, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I think she's growing into her own image because she
Oh,
feels better about not like having werewolf DNA, Like that was like a big stressor. And like she's also kind of been feeling like a liability lately because her brain has something wrong with it. And then she could turn into a werewolf randomly. So it's like, or she thought she could. Apparently she cannot, which feels great for her. So I'm gonna say her own image, and I'm gonna go with
The win we needed after everything.
yeah, yes. Oh my god, one single like problem off Roxy's plate. The soul stuff that well, you know what? That's a later problem. Like she just really didn't need to deal with that. So I'm going my own image. I'm actually this is gonna sound weird, but I think she's gonna put her freak up one, and I think that think that I'm gonna put Savior down one. And I don't have good logic for why that is. I just don't feel like her mundane went down this time either, though. I don't know. I'm gonna say Savior though. I don't have great logic. It's fine. Anyways, that's Roxy.
Okay.
She's feeling more herself.
So
Is
is
that the-
Elena, actually.
Yay!
She's gonna grow into her own self-image. And I'm gonna move freak up and mundane down because she maybe kind of successfully put stuff inside of other stuff that's not supposed to be inside of stuff. And let's hopefully she can do it with people without killing them.
You're
Love
gonna
that
make
statement.
werewolf chimeras, and I don't know what to think about this,
She's
but
gonna
I
try and
kind of
do
love
with
it.
objects and not with people.
Yeah.
Like maybe get his feet stuck in the ground so he can't like
Yeah.
Whole
unfazed
new
or
meaning to
something.
cement shoes.
For the comedy reasons, though, Joe
She's gonna
and
have a great
Rodriguez
career
would
with the
make me
mob
happy.
after that.
That would be so funny. I'm never not gonna think about them in their get along shirt that Elena
Their
just
get
like
along
made for them. Like Elena's just like, no, you need to get along now.
But
Though
yes,
they
we can-
they could go really fast and Joe could scratch things while sorry.
This I don't like this reality. that
My
This is a
brain's
bad-
weird.
this is a bad ending to Joe's story here, I think.
Maybe she could separate them again. It's fine, right? Probably.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Oy.
Love that. All right.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight and this roller coaster of a session. Next week, it all kicks off. It's all
World War
happening.
Werewolf.
World War Werewolf.
That needs to be the
Yay.
episode title for next
Oh, it
time.
will be. It's what my
World
notes are.
War
Oh my
Werewolf.
God.
Because I have my planning for how the fight is gonna go, and my one note page is just titled World War Werewolf. So
Yes.
That is a tongue twister, though.
it is. Until we see you next time, you have to join us back here next week. Like,
Yeah.
it's a war. It's werewolves.
required.
It's basically pseudo Avengers. You can't miss it. Next Sunday.
Sunday.
In the meantime, have a good week. Hopefully, the weather is not horribly, bitterly cold, or we get a bunch more snow.
This blizzard ain't shit.
This snow
I
ain't
say
shit.
bitterly having to go to work tomorrow.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's-
down with it. I'm gonna sleep all
Um,
day. Though I'm getting Gonna have
I'm-
to shut.
Looking
Snow
forward to a nice nap.
Yeah.
But have a good time. Stay warm. Stay cozy. Drink some hot chocolate. Maybe build a snowman if you can.
Except for Crow, who doesn't have snow, just
yeah.
Florida.
Bye bye.